Hey, welcome to the award-winning 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl, broadcasting you live from Fishbowl Studios here in Bedford, Texas. We are powered by the OBBM Network and brought to you by the Biker Wolfpack.
Oh, that's my cue.
Yeah, that's your cue, man. The Bike Wolfpack and Glenn Lawson Law, the accident injury attorneys. If you ride, you want to have the Biker Wolfpack on your side. That's 737 The Wolf. That's 737 The Wolf. I want to welcome Pitbull. What's going on?
Oh, just living the dream.
Just living the dream. And our boy Chance behind the board, man. He's making it all work, making the magic happen from behind the board, man. We got a great show for you today. We got the Thin Blue Line LEMC coming in today. Mm-hmm. We got Billy Ball, her first segment for Hemp and Hounds.
Hemp and Hounds. My two favorite things.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we got Mongo. He's going to be calling a little later on in the show with Cali.
The Cali news.
The Cali news. We can only know what the Mongo log is going to bring today,
sure,
man.
It's going to be exciting.
Woo, it's going to be exciting. And then we got Lori Montoya. Where is Lori?
I think she's off the boat.
She's off the boat. Where she is?
She's on a shore somewhere.
We got to get a Lori Montoya wheel and just spin it and see where.
That's where we send her.
But she's been all
on
over,
location.
Yeah, all over the place, man. This week has been a trying week for a lot of people, and I fell in love with this new reality show.
Oh. Dancing with the Stars.
No, not Dancing with the Stars or 16 or I'm Pregnant or I Married a Jailbird or any of those things. It's called Chaos in LA. It is the coolest reality.
Saw that.
Oh my God, it is the coolest reality show.
All day.
Yeah, it's how to wreck your neighborhood. How to wreck your neighborhood in the places where you live in like 3 easy lessons. Mm-hmm. There are people, and how to just like break into your stores, rob all those food places and destroy your community all in a weekend.
But they're the victim.
Man, I got to tell you, we're not going to get too much into it, but I do want to send our thoughts and prayers to all our first responders and our military out there that are fighting the good fight. You guys got your hands filled.
We got your six.
Man, you are fighting against politicians that do not give a shit about you. They want to criminalize everything. You know what? If I was you guys, I would just turn around and go, I'm washing my hands of you. You want to destroy your city. You want to do whatever you want. Build a wall around LA, and that's it. Escape from LA. That should be.
Didn't you see the movie? It was like 2011 where like there was an attack. The aliens attacked California or LA, and the Marines came in. The end of the movie, the Marines won.
Oh, of course, the Marines always win. And if you think, you know what I love about
Days or something like that.
What it's called?
Into Days or something.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But you know what I love about this is that all these little weekend warrior mommy crybaby pussies that sitting there downstairs.
You can say pussy and I can't say the F word.
No, you can't say the F word. But they're playing all their little war games on in their mom's basement, and then all of a sudden they get bitch slapped by an officer or a Marine or a National Guardsman because they broke the law.
Then I'm gonna get my phone.
And then what happens? Yeah. And then they go crying and running. Oh, he hit me. Oh, he hit me with a stick. I don't
feel safe anymore.
Yeah, they're wearing all this friggin' riot gear. They get shot with.
They don't show their faces because they're cowards.
You know what? They get shot with a paintball pellet and they go cry. You know what? Stop breaking the law. Stop doing stuff. Stop throwing bricks at cars, at federal officers. Man, I hope you go to jail for life on that one, man. Did you see him? I mean, he was throwing bricks out windshields of cars. He could have. That's attempted murder on every single charge.
They're taking off the edges or the hammer part is what I'm hearing, that they're breaking off hammers and throwing the heavy pieces is what I think Trump said. And
stop being such a pussy. Uncover your face, man. Why do you got your face covered? Everybody's got their face covered in these goggles and they don't want to be seen. It makes me laugh, but you know what? In reality, it is so sad of what's happening. I blame Newsom and Bass and all those other liberal ass politicians out there that are destroying it. And we know it's all by design. You're getting paid by Soros and all these other things. You want to destroy America. But when you start looking out for
signs and stuff.
Yeah, when you start looking out for the criminals instead of the law-abiding citizens of LA, man, there is something deeply, deeply wrong with you.
I think the reason why the liberals are rioting is because, they're getting rid of the illegals, which are the people, some of them
illegal.
Some of them do work because they're afraid if they take all the illegals, they're actually going to have to work now.
Yeah. But here's but let's flip the script for a minute on this. You know who you're hurting? You're not hurting the politicians. All you rioters aren't hurting the politicians. You're not hurting anybody. You're hurting
your tax dollars and everything. You got to repair all that stuff.
You are hurting the legal immigrants that came into this country the right way, who did everything. You know, after 9/11, everybody just went after every brown person in New York City, looking at them as terrorists. Every taxi cab driver, you're a terrorist. The stereotypes went ballistic.
And with COVID, like the Asian people too.
And Asians, you know, you are making it bad for every Mexican American who came here legally, who works hard for their family.
Now they're getting profiled.
You are destroying them because you know what? You are perpetuating a stereotype that we're trying to break. So you are the ones to blame on that.
Word.
You know, and you know what? I'll apologize to every legal immigrant that came into this country. You know, I feel bad for you guys because it's a horrible thing to see. They're flying Mexican flags and burning the American flag, but they want to live here. Right.
Even they were talking to people in Mexico, and of course, if you do anything to the Mexican flag, you're out. I mean, justice, like, and so they are like pissed about how they're being represented as Mexicans in Mexico on what they're doing here in America.
Can you imagine going to another country and doing?
Hell no, I'd be scared.
Oh my God. And burn their flag?
No.
Oh my, you'd be hung up to dry.
I've already like studied the language, you know, like everything. Like if I'm going over to that country, I'm going to appreciate it. That's why I'm going.
Exactly. You know, and this is where
he's getting red, y'all. Like,
yeah,
legit.
I'm getting red, man. But because I got to hold back so much.
Did you take your blood pressure meds today?
This is where the educational system has totally failed because they interviewed people on why they were there. And half of them don't even know unless they're getting a paycheck from Soros.
We just wanted to watch the cars burn.
One girl was she was in a flak jacket. I don't know. She probably found
Amazon.
It, right? She was in a hockey helmet. I don't know if she was special, but she had these goggles on and she had a leaf blower, right? And I'm like, oh my God.
That's my Halloween costume next.
I'm like, who dressed you this morning? But when they asked her, they're like, what are you here fighting for? She goes like, well, this used to be Mexico and we're fighting for our land back. Bitch, the Indians owned all of this. The Indians owned all of this. We stole it from them. At least we paid your ass for the land. You know, you want to talk about history, talk about the Navajo Nation, talk about all our Apaches and all our Indian people that. Oh, no. All right. All right, forget that. I'm going on a friggin' rant. Sorry. All right. Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network.
Hi. In today's news,
thank God we got Billy Ball here with Hemp and Hounds.
We need some hemp and hounds.
And some lovable hounds. We're going to be bringing her on in a little bit.
You need to be petting the hounds and him in the
herd. To pet a hound. Wow. Oh, man. Hey, let's talk about some upcoming events.
Wait, we got to do it like the newscasters.
Yeah. All right.
On today's news.
You know, you just went to an event 2 weekends in a row. We had two amazing events at Texas Harley-Davidson. The first one was the Corvette explosion where 263 Corvettes, man, just lined the parking lot. What a beautiful day. And it was fun and it was packed with veterans and first responders and everybody. And everybody had a great time. Beautiful cars. And then you this past weekend went to the 1,000 water balloon fight. Tell us about that, man.
That was fun. So I go up there. Micah is like putting together, had two baby pools across from each other, had a battlefield basically set up.
Cool. I saw
with the benches
tables
up and everything. So you had like cover and stuff. 2,000 water balloons for the first fighters. I don't know. It seemed like a lot. I was sore. There's a lot of that going on. I felt like the Elf movie.
Is that how you throw?
No, I'm trying not to hit the mic.
Like such a girl.
I was a fast pitch pitcher and I had a scholarship, so watch it.
You had a scholarship and you ended up on a 99.
Hey, dream big, girls. Dream big. No, but it was fun. And like I get out there, the rain was there kind of at the beginning, so it kind of I think deterred a little bit of people from showing up. But me and Micah, it was against like a couple families. I think we lost our water balloons first. We did it. It was pretty fun. It was like rapid fire. We were getting like 8 or 10 balloons and throwing them at them. And then there was like machine gun, water gun things.
Very cool.
It was a lot of fun.
But see, that's what it's all about.
And when do you get to sit in a baby pool at Harley?
Huh?
You get to sit at a baby pool at Harley. I mean, that's something right there.
He is the ambassador of fun, man, and he is really making Texas Harley Davidson
the kids loved
a weekend spot, man.
And they had the bounce house inside.
Very cool.
Inside, they had the bounce house. The kids loved it. It was all about the kids.
Man. See, and when
Tattoo
you bring
mark, all about the kids.
Yeah, and when you bring the kids, guess what? Mom and dads follow, and they buy the T-shirts and the hats and everything else that's in Harley, and maybe walk away with a new Harley.
Yes.
Speaking about walking away with a new Harley or any type of bike you want, you have to go to thebikerwolfpack.com because Glenn Lawson's giving away $20,000 to one lucky winner.
That's right.
For the purchase of a new bike.
That's right.
So you got to check that out. We'll hear from Glenn about that.
He'll be here shortly.
Well, he'll be Skyping in from another place.
On air to y'all shortly.
Yeah. So anyway, with Texas Harley Davidson, we have upcoming this week on Friday and Saturday, we have Harley Davidson Father's Day, where they are bringing in all these brand new Harleys to check out, giving special deals. So starting at noon on June 14th.
Freedom and Fathers.
So ladies, buy your man a bike for Father's Day.
Or all you single ladies, go down there. A lot of dads down there.
A lot of single dads. There you go.
Never know.
You walk away from Harley with a bike and a man.
A bike and a dad.
Bike and a dad. A baby daddy. There you go.
Hey, times are
baby
tough.
daddy at Father's Day at Harley.
Yeah. I think your man would rather have something from Harley than some new socks.
Huh? Oh man, I would love to come home on a bike instead of socks.
Well, I don't know about Harley. I mean, maybe a T-shirt. I can maybe give you a T-shirt.
Got enough T-shirts.
True.
And then on July 4th, they are going to have where is it? They're having a special July 4th sale, and then they're doing a I forgot to print that other one out. I'm sorry. Texas Harley Davidson Disco.
Oh,
a disco night at Texas Harley Davidson. How cool is that?
Okay,
how cool is that?
We're getting outfits.
Yeah, we will be there. So be sure to check those out.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
At the Harley.
How cool would that be, though? That's gonna be epic. Because inside Texas Harley Davidson, and I think that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Harley Davidson in Texas. Space wise, by square footage.
Because every time I go to the other ones, I'm like, this isn't as big as Texas.
It's not as big as Texas. Everything's bigger in
the
DFW.
Texas Harley.
Texas Harley. But they're gonna have a great time, and Mike is doing an amazing job as the ambassador of fun. Always something going on. Always the hog chapters out there. Free coffee. There's usually beer. You can get your hair cut there.
There's a barber in there.
There's a barber shop in there.
That's pretty cool.
And they got a keg. That's
where the beer was in the barber shop?
That's where I was getting all my beer, at the barber shop. But I'm going to go get my hair cut there.
I had one of my buddies bring me beer.
Did you?
Because there wasn't any beer at the family-friendly event that day. But you can bring your beer there. They do allow you to.
Sippy cups? Little sippy things?
Yeah, silver and blue ones.
There you go. Do you mean you didn't have your own drink? You didn't have your own drink?
I was expecting them to have it.
So you didn't bring anything? Not even a reserve?
I had one. Like I said, I had one of my battling buddies. Bring me some.
Bring me beer, bitch. Oh, no.
And you can see I'm behaving. You see I'm behaving.
It's not the F word.
I know.
It's not flop.
I got in trouble.
Yeah. She got spanked. She got spanked. All right, we're going to take a quick break here from the Biker Wolf Pack before we bring on Hemp and Hounds. Right after this. Stay tuned.
Biker Wolfpack Law is a safety organization founded by myself alongside Robert Howell with the primary focus of motorcycle safety, advocacy for injured bikers, and just general protection for those injured while riding motorcycles in the great state of Texas. Biker Wolfpack Law is a division of Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, which is my firm. What's different about Biker Wolfpack Law is it's a community-based, event-based connection component to make sure that motorcyclists have all of the safety information they need, all of the legal information they need, and frankly, if needed, that full-blown legal advocacy in times of injury through no fault of their own.
One of our big events is we do ASM classes, which are accident scene management classes, which are put on with the Road Guardians, group of riders that are usually EMTs, doctors, nurses that also ride. And so they know what can happen when you're out there by yourself. And so it's a very intense class, like how to do tourniquets, how to get a helmet off of a person without hurting their neck more, how to get somebody out of the middle of the road. We do those a couple times a year, and the more safe riders are out there, the better it is.
The second division and component of Biker Wolfpack Law is to sponsor local musicians at bike nights or other community events that involve motorcyclists, but also just the community as a whole. And then third is larger charity organization events or rides to get out in the fresh air and have some fun. What I love most about representing bikers and motorcyclists across the great state of Texas is really one thing. It's about hearing the story. It's about going to motorcycle events, constantly meeting new people and making new connections. One of the reasons why I started Biker Wolfpack Law was to defeat and counteract many of the biases that are out there that, quote, motorcyclists are just dangerous. Make sure that motorcyclists are seen as exactly who they are, very hardworking, very responsible, and very dedicated individuals that deserve the justice that they need.
I was in an accident 12 months ago to the day. I was driving on southbound Santa Fe and somebody did a suicide left in front of me and I T-boned him at 45 miles an hour. From that point forward, I don't remember anything for the next 18 days because I was in a coma.
She broke 9 bones, lacerated my spleen, put me in the hospital for 21 days. I remember none of it.
Biker Down was founded in 2011 after riding several rides over the summer and seeing, tragically, my friends get injured. And I felt that there was a need missing in Denver and in Colorado for an organization that helped the biker community. As you may know, the bikers are one of the most charitable entities out there, and what we do is provide them a variety of services such as medical equipment, financial assistance if necessary, and a plethora of resources to help them stay afloat during the hardest time of their life, which is their recovery. You know, my biggest hope is that I'll never get another phone call that a biker's gone down, but you know, that's not realistic. So I think my true realistic dream is that we can help as many as we can help, because it is life-changing for them. Certainly donating and volunteering your time, and even if you can't do that, attend our events. You know, attend our event and get a $20 t-shirt for your $20. You know, those kind of things make a big difference in a small nonprofit like ours.
Back to the 99% Radio Network, live in LA. No, just kidding.
What?
Just kidding. Hey,
well, that was more like it right there.
Man, it's great sitting between two beautiful women. That's what's great about hosting an internet radio show. But
you just see him backstage.
Yeah. Want to introduce Billy Ball. Everybody that knows her, man, she's going to start a new segment called Hemp and Hounds. Billy, thank you for joining the network.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm so excited. And we might like throw some honeys in there, you know, eventually hemp hounds and honeys. You know,
I like that.
Honeys would just be people who are making a difference that week, you know, just, yeah.
I like that.
The three
like
ages.
it.
All right.
Because we can't do pot, puppies, and people because illegal. I mean, that's the devil's lettuce, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this segment already.
You know, Billy, without getting you locked up, you know, but
and we got popos coming on today, don't
Texas
we?
just passed a law with the hemp, which I don't agree with, because this
the
is
store-bought stuff.
You know, what you have provided for our veterans and my dogs, my puppies, has been tremendously helpful. Tell us a little about some of the stuff. Maybe the new law. Tell us how it's impacting a lot of people.
Oh man, it's all a big cluster fudge around here.
I was gonna
fudge. So right now, Governor Abbott still has a little bit of time to either veto it, sign it, or just let it sit on his desk. And I believe wholeheartedly he's just going to let it sit there and just do what it's going to do, because Dan Patrick has made it perfectly clear that he is the president of Texas. And when he doesn't want something, it doesn't matter if 98% of Texans want it. He has that authority to be like, no, because y'all know pretty soon, probably November, we'll get to vote on gambling.
Oh, yeah.
And then once that is denied, those people are going to take the Mavericks to Las Vegas. We already know this, right? They're just looking for an NBA team there. But the problem with what's going on right now is a lot of the politicians, of course, would never in Texas don't want hemp or cannabis to be available because it would cut into their back pockets. Patrick has huge donations from the beer and alcohol people,
which is actually more deadly than hemp.
Sure, I can go buy like 3 handles of Jack Daniels when I get home and a carton of cigarettes and sit there and have the time of my life, and it's okay. I could die from alcohol poisoning,
but I got a joint
tonight.
Right.
But no one has ever died from consuming cannabis.
I've tried.
Ever.
I mean,
there's been like college kids who went to Vegas and bought edibles, and they were specifically told don't take more than this. And one kid took the whole package and then thought he could jump from this balcony to the balcony across the street.
Those are different than the flower.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing.
Those are people
you gotta
that
be careful with that.
Be cold. But what's going on right now is in 2018 when the Farm Bill made hemp federally legal. It had to have that 0.3% by weight. Otherwise, it would pop pot and would be illegal. So because we can't get our crap together, there are all these people doing all these different things over here. Okay, well, the law didn't make this clear, so we're going to go over here and do this. Because basically what everyone's all concerned about is the Delta 8 and the Delta 9.
Okay.
Delta 8 is not a naturally occurring thing in cannabis or hemp. What they do is they create it. They take, hemp with CBD in it, and then they put something on it like acetate. Yeah, we know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they extract it. So it's a synthetic. It's a derivative. It's not an actual thing that occurs naturally in the cannabis plant. It makes people feel better, but it's not regulated.
My friends call it diet weed.
Right, exactly. So, and all right. Sorry. I'll figure out something to call it. But yeah, so they've got that. So when you walk into the stores and see the Delta 9 is THC. Okay. Delta 9 THC is the only thing in hemp or cannabis that will get you high.
And see, the two names similar kind of throws people off. Delta 8, Delta 9, but one's good, one's bad.
Correct. Well, when we're talking about Delta 9, also, what they are doing with some of these gummies, and I can see the problem with this is so when you have hemp, let's say it's 15% CBD and 0.3% THC. If you had 1,000 squares,
I feel like I need to have the math.
Right. I'm going to bring like a board next week. Only 3 of those little dots out of 1,000 would be THC. 150 would be CBD. So there's a lot to work with. So what people are doing is they're making gummies and injecting just straight THC into the gummies.
Where it's not regulated.
Where it's not regulated. And what they're saying is, by weight, it is 0.3% of this total. Yes and no.
Okay.
Like he was saying, it's not regulated. There's a lot of, let's say, thank you.
Which means people are going to not know if they're abusing it or not because it's not regulated.
Right, because you don't know where that THC came from. It obviously came from cannabis, but did the cannabis go through testing? Did it have heavy metals? Did it have pesticides in it? Because whatever goes into the cannabis or hemp plant that you put into your body,
all my decisions
is going to go into you as well. So they're supposed to test for heavy metals and
you think if it's at a store and you can go buy stuff, you think
Right. You think with all these things in Texas, if I walk into this CBD store or this shop, it's got to be legal, right? It's a storefront. It has a big ass fancy sign in front of it that lights up and tells me welcome. And when I walk in,
they're so friendly.
Yeah, when I walk in, there's little plants and there's little things to buy and hats that says, "Oh my gosh, I love this." And so you think everything in there is legal,
and
it's
walk
not.
out the door,
right? And some people don't know. Some people don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And again,
it's one or the other.
Exactly.
It's smoke and mirrors.
If they would just if they would just let people do this, you have in your body something called a endocannabinoid system. Endo meaning inside your body, cannabinoids meaning cannabis. So
study, there's going to be a test.
Yeah. So within your body, starting at your brain, in legal states, when you hit a joint or you take a hit, you feel that initial bzzz in your head, right? It's because the cannabinoids are going straight to your brain. They go down your
straight to the dome,
and then they go down your spine and they hit all your CB1 receptors, which THC benefits. CBD, on the other hand, is for you've got CB2 receptors, and CBD goes in and finds those receptors that needs it and fills them in. Just like you have a hepatic system, you have a immune system, you have an endocannabinoid system.
Just like if you take an aspirin, it knows where to go.
Correct. And speaking of aspirin is a synthetic. I mean, I get it, they make it from a tree, birch, but then man gets a hold of it and does all this stuff to it and puts all this stuff into it, and it makes it an aspirin, but it doesn't make it natural.
Right. Exactly.
Hold on, where was I going? It's just like when you're talking about, like if you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, John, you have a potassium deficiency. And Pitbull, you have a vitamin C deficiency. So maybe
you go to CVS and you buy potassium and you buy vitamin C.
Correct. Orange. But your body would prefer to have oranges and spinach. Right. Your body would prefer to have bananas or something else with potassium, because that's the way God made us. If you can't sleep and you can't eat, you can't be healthy. So you have to have good sleep and good food going into you. It's just like vitamins. Vitamins are synthetic. The amount of you could
not natural.
No, they are not. They are full.
They take any pill, like
straight up synthetics.
Killer migraine or something. That's the only time I take anything. But I really don't take any meds.
I watch Big Bang Theory a lot.
Yeah.
There was one part of one Big Bang Theory that really got me was Sheldon. If you know Sheldon on a Big Bang Theory, right? He is with Penny, and she's like, "Well, I got to buy this magnesium, right?" So the price on magnesium is like fucking like $40, for this little jar. And he's like, and he just turns around. And he's like the smartest guy in the world. He's like, "You just bought some high priced urine. You're peeing most of it out. Nothing is really. It's not magnesium. It's all these different synthetics, but they charge the price of magnesium, and it's." All these vitamins are the same way.
Correct. It's just like, products that you get from the legal states. Unless it is straight up flour, it's really hard to trust it, because once you flip it over and you start reading the ingredients, and 4 of the ingredients are some form of sugar. There's corn syrup, there's sugar, there's high fructose. This, it's just sugar. And then a lot of times they still taste like crap. And it's like, how's it got that much sugar and tastes like crap? But a friend bought some stuff back, and it was complete crap. It was overpriced. It tasted horrible. It was coated with sugar, and these were supposed to be for people who had cancer, to help with cancer. Cancer loves sugar. Cancer loves sugar. So if you're gonna make a gummy, and you not only have it in there, but then you coat it to make it taste better, that's kind of counterproductive.
I like the natural taste. I don't need the sugar on it.
Well, let's transition on that health benefit. What it does for our veterans, our post-traumatic stress, our mental health,
seizures,
how it aids our war fighters when they come back, when they're dealing with all those traumatic events, and the medical aspects of this is, through cancer and different. What does it do for these people, and how it's going to harm them if we take it away?
Oh my gosh, it's going to be, you can take it away, but even before it was given to us, people were still utilizing it. It's just the problem with these dumbass, greedy politicians is they don't realize that we are all smarter than they think that we are.
Right.
We talk, we do research. And if you take this away from veterans, you're going to kill them. You're going to absolutely kill some of these people. Either they're going to do it themselves, or they're going to get in situations where they put themselves into a situation. A politician once said, "I've never seen anyone smoke a joint and then beat their wives." Doesn't happen.
No.
Doesn't happen.
Maybe eat some cornflakes or chips or Cheetos.
I mean, when you're talking about a veteran who's about to have an episode, and you can get them to hit a pipe or hit a cigarette or hit something, it is immediately going to do what I was talking about earlier. Yep. It's going to go to their brain. It's going to immediately hit those receptors and start calming them down. Once you take 2 or 3 more hits, it's going to continue to do that. And then the great thing about this plan is, like, when you inhale it, it works immediately. When you take a tincture, like the tinctures I gave you and your dogs, same thing with people. You put it in there, the red, wet, shiny surfaces, it'll go to work in 5 to 15 minutes. And it'll do that.
And I can definitely attest to that, because my dog has seizures, which means
scary.
The receptors in the dog's brain are malfunctioning. They're misfiring. So that's the same with like post-traumatic stress and everything else. Your brain misfires. So the stuff that you gave me for the dog, as soon as I squeeze that tube into their mouth, and it's only like, I don't know, like five, little bit. I don't know how much it is.
Part of a dropper full. Yeah.
The dog immediately goes out of the seizure.
That's crazy.
And it's put it back into a safe zone. He's postictal and everything else, but he's not seizing, where now he's at least breathing. So I've seen that work tremendously numerous times on my dog.
And it's amazing because it works with people too. And that's just CBD.
Before.
When you put THC, a good amount, not this little ridiculous amount that Texas think, the teacup. The teacup is the medical marijuana program here in the state of Texas, and they just recently bumped up the THC levels to 5%, which is still it's piddly.
We got somebody calling in. Oh,
and when I tell people, like, if you can get on the teacup program, once Abbott figures out what he's going to do, the teacup program will allow supposedly any veteran with any condition who is discharged, they can use it for any reason they want to. But what I tell people is, like, if you have access to teacup and you have that prescription and you can have it in your body, please go get you some real stuff somewhere, because that's really is what is going to help you. When you talk about edibles, the reason edibles are so potent, so you smoke it, immediate help. You get the tincture, 5 to 15 minutes, because it goes into the red, wet, shiny surfaces and is absorbed into your bloodstream. Edibles, on the other hand, whether you're taking them for health or for happiness,
recreation.
Yes. The thing about edibles is kind of like shots. Everyone reacts to a shot of Jack Daniels differently, and you do a shot and that one didn't work. So what do? You go back and get another one, and that shot didn't work. And then by the time later, by the time that shot works,
you feeling it?
Yep. And you can't get it out. It's in there, but and it's the same thing with edibles. Edibles can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours to fully get into your system, because you have to eat it. It goes into your stomach, gets all broken down, and gets into your liver, and then
it depends on how your metabolism goes through.
Correct. Right. And it turns into something called THC-11, OH11, and that is so good for long-term pain, mental health repair, because it stays in your body for 12 hours or so. Sometimes 12 to 24 hours, and just the pain relief, the stress relief. If you take a good gummy, you can feel it at the top of your head. Just everything starts to melt away. Stress, pain, neck pain, back pain.
We have samples.
You know what else it helps with?
Just like shh.
Because dealing with my own post-traumatic stress, after seeing different doctors, I'm not getting proper REM sleep.
Ooh,
right. So
definitely.
if you're not getting proper REM sleep, your body is not healthy.
Exactly.
Right. So what I do is I'll take a gummy before bed. That puts me into a REM sleep. So I'm in bed, I take the gummy, I get into bed, and by the time I'm asleep, it's starting to metabolize through my body.
Yeah.
And it puts me into a nice REM sleep, which each person needs at least an hour to 2 hours of good REM sleep to wake up healthy and rejuvenated and repair all those things in your body. most people don't get proper.
I've been
REM
doing
sleep.
it all wrong. I take it when I wake up and I clean my house.
Well, because again, if you don't
Well, it's not-
sleep well,
yeah.
your body's not going to have time to heal.
Right.
You know, working with a friend of mine who had throat cancer, and he went through the chemo several times, and he called me. He's like, Billy, I'm just not sleeping. And I'm like, if you can't sleep, you can't get well. And it affects your appetite too. So I made him up some gummies, took him like a month's supply. And he called me like 2 days later. He's like, oh my God, I slept for 6 hours straight last night. And he goes, and I got up and had a good appetite and was hungry. He went back for scans, and he's like, the tumors that he does have are shrinking. Because when you talk about THC therapy, I mean, the government can go screw themselves with this. Oh, we need more research and information. No, you don't.
We've been researching this shit
You've
since
been
the
researching
1960s.
everything for
Since
long.
Cheech and Chong came out, we've been researching.
Well, the
this.
government actually, up until about 2020, had a patent on cannabis and cannabinoids because they were researching it. But the research didn't go their way to where they're like, filthy hippie potheads, this is bad for you. It didn't go their way. So, of course, they're like, we're going to drop the patent and we're going to get rid of it, because THC therapy has been shown and proven to go in and eat cancer, whereas chemo and some of these other things, they will, if you got cancer here and the chemo was put here, it affects all the cells around it, even the healthy ones. It kills it, even the healthy ones. Cannabis has been shown to go in. They're like little garbage trucks. They go in, they go around like, oh, you're good. You go, oh, here we go. And they eat it and they dissolve it and they put it into the bloodstream, and then it's taken out of your body. Not the healthy cells around it, just the cancer cells.
Well, we're going to hear more about this on more of your episodes.
Yep.
We're going to bring in more of the hemp, the hounds.
Yeah, I'm
and the
bringing some
people.
puppies next week, maybe.
I'm going to bring some puppies.
I'm not bringing some puppies.
All right.
You know what? I'll bring Sideshow and Pitbull, because that's what I named them. I've got
All
some.
right.
I got Sideshow, Pitbull, Mongo.
We can
So,
bring
yeah.
we can bring puppies in here, right?
Well,
Yeah,
put me in a
all
little
right.
carrier, and I'll bring some
Okay,
stuff.
cool.
Because also
cool.
what I want
We
to
ask
do,
for forgiveness.
yeah, I'll bring some
With
little
puppies.
cleaning stuff. Is I know it always hurts my heart when you think of a veteran or someone who's alone. And I've talked to veterans, because we sell dogs, but they'll call and they're like, look, I tried to go to a shelter and they refused my application. I'm like, what? Or I try to go here and sometimes these shelters and
if you don't have
these
stable,
rescue
they won't. You have to go through a
places.
background check and
Yeah.
everything else. They call like 3 people, and if they're not home, you can't. It's a lot. It's probably worse than going to the VA.
It is. It's kind of like I was watching an episode of Modern Family, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have extra cats, and we want one." I didn't realize because I have to jump through here. Oh my God! So we, out at the farm, we raise the puppies, and they're mine until they go away. And I don't care if I have 80 or 100 dogs, they're mine. But we've talked to veterans who are like, "Oh, I lost my dog," and I'll talk to these people for like an hour on the phone just because they just want someone to talk to, and they really want a dog. And so I want to start donating some of these dogs. Some of them are really smart. They're really sweet. They're beautiful. And they could turn into therapy or service dogs. But a companion.
Well, just comfort
Just
animals,
to love
man.
on, because I raise them to where these babies love to be snuggled, and so they want to be near you. They want to snuggle with you. And I know sometimes that's what people need. And
Look how
it would just,
passionate you are. I love it. I love it.
Jesus.
This is what you're going to see each and every week here on the
Pimps and
99
hounds.
Man. This is what it's all about. It's where the rubber meets the road, or the paws meet the paws meet the pavement.
Ooh.
The paws meet the pavement. I like that, and
I
that was
like
just
this.
right off. See, that's
why
all
you
those
get paid
gummies
the
I'm
big
taking.
bucks.
That's all those gummies I'm taking. No, and that's what it's all about. It's about making a difference, giving back to the community, and uplifting each other, giving the voice to people. And we're going to talk to Glenn Lawson, he's on, right? We're going to bring Glenn Lawson on in a minute, and we're going to hear about some of the things that he's doing as an attorney, giving back to the community. Yes, attorneys do give back to the community. Not those big billboard attorneys, those homegrown attorneys that care about the people they take care of. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this with Glenn Lawson and the Biker Wolfpack.
What we believe in at Glenn Larson Law is doing one thing and doing it really well. When I meet people, I always tell them we're going to uncover every single rock possible. That's the medical component, that's your story and your voice.
We've solely focused on personal injury, whether that be a slip and fall accident or a commercial 18-wheeler, a motorcycle or DWI, motor vehicle accident. We specialize in that and that only.
when someone says, my neck really hurts, I know exactly how that feels. There's so much more to an injury case dealing with the pain level that people go through and how it affects their lives. And I know how to advocate to make sure that the insurance companies take all of that in consideration in every case.
We're very transparent and open to always keep them informed and stay on top of their case at all times.
Because we're a little bit smaller in team numbers, we're able to really dive into every single case and develop not only a client relationship, but a friendship and a lifelong connection.
We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll meet you anywhere, at the scene, in the hospital, at your home. Whatever's best for the client, we will do every single time.
There is a connection component that I believe our firm is committed to. We want to be connected with you and your family beyond this case so that you know that you have a lifelong partner. Not just a case, but a lifelong connection and a lifelong voice. And we look forward to serving you.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. We are bringing in Glenn Lawson with the Biker Wolfpack. Glenn, how you doing, brother?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, man. You're all good.
Appreciate you very much. Thanks for those kind words. As always, got a few things. Looking forward to, later this summer doing more of an interview format with some different guests I want to bring in. But today, I think keep it simple. I'm up here, headed up towards Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hopefully, I'll run into the Tulsa King while I'm there. But no, I'm kidding. I love that show. Such a badass show.
Can't wait until they bring it back.
I know.
They got to bring it back.
Yeah. So today, a couple things. I want to talk about a couple of events, friendly things to remind people about. And the more serious topic that I want to bring up today is, of course, just bringing more awareness to even more causes that as we group, there's never enough space for PTSD support, but most of all, even for suicide prevention. And so our firm is starting to get more involved. We don't know the details on it yet, but Ricky Rackman from Headbangers Ball and all that from back in the day is doing this amazing ride. They're raising money. My understanding is they're running into a few bumps along the way, but I mean, you're riding from Key West to Alaska on a motorcycle. You're gonna have a few little hiccups along the way.
That's crazy.
So bottom line, folks that want to come out, looks like they're doing some stuff in Austin area on Father's Day over at the original site of one of the filmings of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So people who are into horror films, it's really cool. Amityville, all that kind of stuff, right?
We'll be down there. We'll be down there.
Me, I don't know. I'm like, whatever. I see it. I see enough, tragedy in my work so I probably won't be at that one, but I'll be meeting up with him. So if you want to support a great cause, you check him out on Facebook. Ricky Rackman, him and his wife are just doing this amazing journey all the way to Alaska and then ending up in Sturgis. And it's a crazy cause, and they're raising a cause for several organizations related to suicide prevention, including, the hotlines that are out there. So there's that. And then in September, something fun. I love racing. Everybody who knows me knows that. That's probably why I don't ride as much as I used to, but I still do. But the bottom line is King of the Baggers is going to be going on, Circuit of the Americas. Anybody wants to come down to Austin, look us up. We're going to be giving away quite a few tickets this year for the King of the Baggers race at CODA, which is the middle weekend in September, like September 14th and 16th. Okay. So those of y'all who know about that, it's a super amazing event. There's a tour schedule. They race all across the United States, and there's one in our backyard right down in Austin at CODA, and it's an amazing race, and it's really cool because it's on the same race that the F1 track, is used for.
That's cool.
It's super intense. Yeah. So we're going to be giving away some tickets, and we're going to hopefully be able to meet a lot of people out there and really support a fun event. So just be looking out for September.
That's not the only thing you're giving away
today for the topic.
Wait. That's not the only thing you're giving away.
I know.
I'll let you bring it up.
He's like, I know.
Win a free motorcycle. Doing a motorcycle test. That we're going to be trying to send that out more digitally to people on Facebook and stuff. So if you get on our Facebook on Biker Wolfpack Law or Glenn Larson Law, you'll see that. But just, if anybody wants to share that with their friends, it's a local deal, and and it'll be the drawing will be in this motorcycle, $20,000 towards a bike of your choice, and then we're going to also give away a custom paint helmet from Robert. So there's that.
Sun God Graphics.
But mainly, topics. Yeah, Sun God Graphics. Got it. See, thank you. You're keeping me. Bill, I'm like making sure that I'm like pulled over here. File doesn't show up behind me. So, bottom line is, I wanted to talk about 3 very red flags that get raised by insurance companies. And if you're fortunate enough, I want to show you how to defeat the red flags. Okay. And what I mean by that is, and of course, there's no secret. I want you to hire us or somebody that knows what they're doing. I have this theme that, everybody should stay in their fucking lane. Stay in their lane and do what they're really good at. And, so it is what it is. I'm passionate about representing bikers and making sure they're taken care of when that needs to happen. But here, in today's world, information is important. So here are the 3 most important things to know that insurance companies try to do to motorcyclists when they're injured. Number 1 is based on thousands and thousands and thousands of hours and millions of dollars in lobbyist work to create bias against motorcyclists. Okay? That exists out there, and it's true because insurance companies are worried that, if there's an injury regarding a motorcycle, there might be more complications. And so they support many different organizations that are basically out there to paint the particular motorcyclists that are like the rest of us, and it's bullshit. So here's the 3 red flags. Number 1 is, if you're fortunate enough to survive a motorcycle crash and have some injuries, the number 1 most important thing that they try to say is this: well, they didn't go get checked out medically. They're not hurt. It's all made up. It's bullshit. Glenn made it up. The lawyer made it up. The lawyer made it up. And it's just total crap. Okay? So please, if you're fortunate and you're a tough guy, tough girl, and you're like, you know what, I got some road rash, I'll deal with it. No, don't do that. Go to the emergency room and get checked out, because most of the time you're head injury that you don't even know about. And so that's the most undiagnosed thing. And I know, John, you know a lot about this, and Sideshow and everybody. We got everybody knowing about, concussions, because that can trickle down into other PTSD. Huh?
No, you said John, you would know about this, and Sideshow would know about this. And I referred to myself in the third person.
The phone is cutting out here.
You just haven't heard anybody else refer to me in a double person.
Yeah, we're getting a little cut back, but we still
the
got
phone is cutting out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
so
all
number
right.
1 is the insurance. Make sure to get treatment. Number 2 is, of course, the fact that the liability is, they were riding in a group, therefore basically profiling. We all know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what you can do to defeat that is to make sure to take an accident scene management course and learn the skills that are necessary to manage the scene of the crash. And so there's aspects of the medical component, but there's aspects to gathering evidence. And so if the right evidence is not gathered right away, many times it's lost, and it's your word versus the person that really is at fault. And the third most thing, it's very difficult in today's society, and I'm going to bring it up, but here it is when the great law enforcement, for some reason, maybe they're really busy or they just don't do it, they fail to make the police report correct. Okay? And or they don't do it at all. And that's okay, it happens. I get it. But you have to make sure that if you're fortunate enough to survive it and to be able to communicate from the accident scene, that the responding officers, you have to try to, make sure that they, one, get the right information, and two, complete the report, because there are occasions where they don't do the report.
How about pictures? Always take your own pictures and have someone document the accident as best they can.
Everybody's pulling out their phones anyway. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, you got to get lots of pictures, and then the most important thing is to get the license plates of all the vehicles that were involved in the wreck, and the VIN numbers too, if you can take those pictures, if you can get them. And then, of course, to call, the 911, and there's apps now that you can like record, your calls and stuff like that. But I mean, in the haste of the scene of the crash, the most important thing is, if you're fortunate enough to have, what I call medium injuries, maybe you've got a broken bone or something, but you're going to be all right, please go and get treatment right away, because that's the number one red flag that insurance companies look for. The second one is, they rush. They oh, we're so sorry. Here's $5,000. Sign here. And I had a guy call me the other day. I signed this. I got this check. I thought it was for my motorcycle. Very confusing about what those checks are for. Do not accept any money up front from an insurance company after a wreck, because chances are you're signing all of your rights away.
Let me ask some, Glenn. Because insurance companies have that way of trying to trick people, they'll send you a check. Hopefully, you'll cash it. Once you cash that check, is that considered accepting it?
Yep.
So do not take a photo of that check and put it in your bank. Don't do any of that, because once you deposit it, you are actually accepting that
agreeing.
payoff.
Yeah, you took it.
Yes. Yep, that's right. And it's there are exceptions. Manage that. We have to code it correct. The answer is no, never. And frankly, send it.
Oh, you're coming in broken
they'll
up.
Just send them a check, and then they'll just cash it, and then it's done.
Yeah, we're losing you, brother.
He must have crossed into Oklahoma.
You must have
the
crossed into
service
Oklahoma.
Is bad.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later.
All right, brother.
I'm sorry about the technology.
Nah, it's okay,
No,
man.
it's okay.
We know you're in Oklahoma. It happens. They don't have satellites in Oklahoma. All right.
See you later.
Stay safe, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Glenn Lawson with the Biker Wolfpack, Glenn Lawson Law. Ow! Yeah, he's giving away $20,000 to one lucky winner.
To the bike of your choice.
For the bike of your choice. So that's going to be a down payment or a full price, man. If you want to buy a bike that's, costs under $20,000, it's your choice. Use it for what you want. Go to the Biker Wolfpack or GlennLawsonLaw.com, and it's free to register.
freemotorcycle.com.
You win a free motorcycle. It's scrolling on the bottom of our page. Man, it's free. You don't have to buy no tickets. You don't, just enter, and you could possibly win a free motorcycle.
He's got the info here on the feed too. You can read it if you're watching.
All right, we're gonna bring in Lori Montoya. Well, where's Lori?
Where in the
right after this message.
Lori Montoya.
Hey, what do you say? This whole town could be red by the end of the day. If you feel alright, we can throw it and drive. With the radio up so loud they can hear us from now. Me and you, nothing to do. These days they come and go. Me and you, nothing to lose. I feel it in my soul. So let's let the good times roll.
we go.
Back to 99% Radio Network. Hey, sorry for all the communications with Glenn. He's on his way to Oklahoma, but
Blame Oklahoma.
man, we'll recap a lot of that stuff next week. But his red flags are true with the insurance companies. Make sure you see a lawyer and call the Biker Wolf Pack if you were in an accident. Welcome, Lori Montoya.
Well,
where is Lori?
Lori's in her base. Whenever you see that banner, it means I'm home.
She's on land.
And I'm in the biker chat studio in my basement.
The biker chat studio.
Kind of funny.
You're in your
if my
basement.
laundry buzzer doesn't go off, I should be in good shape. I wanted to talk about a couple things that Glenn said since he didn't come in really well.
Okay.
One, my husband got hit by a hit and run driver in front of a 7-Eleven, and he didn't do everything that we preach. His main thing was to call me, and I was out of town, and he had already ridden himself home. And I could not believe that he didn't, one, wait for the police to show up, two, that he left the scene and went home, which was only a couple miles from home. And so my point to all that is that I said, what the frick are you doing? You should know better. So when you get in an accident, I don't care if the driver took off. Your body is in shock. You are in shock. So you need to wait for law enforcement to come. You need to call 911. Someone needs to call 911, because if you file a police report days later with the highway patrol for your insurance company, Glenn is exactly right. Same with why you didn't go to the hospital right away. He ended up, I made him go to the hospital, and he had 3 bruised ribs, and he did get an MRI, and he had $45,000 worth of an ER bill. Luckily, we have the insurance. But my point is had he done it correctly, we could have kicked in our underinsured motorist coverage. But because he did not do it correctly and follow the steps, the insurance company had enough suspect evidence of, well, why didn't you do this? Because the car didn't show up well at night on the video. Anyway, my point to that is that what Glenn is saying is absolutely true. I'm not saying that you have to rush to get in an ambulance and go through the ER, but you need, after any type of accident, you absolutely need to, one, protect the record by going and getting medical treatment.
All right, so you know what I got out of all this. So as a good wife, as a loving wife, the type of wife you are still throwing this in front of his face.
Yeah, and he will never hear the end of it. And the reason
I heard in my man brain, I heard.
I know,
but she's like, "Oh, and I talked about it today."
Yeah, remember 10 years ago when you drove away on your motorcycle after that accident?
No, tonight is when he watches the video, because he always watches later. Because he's gonna go, just can't let it go, can you, honey? Just can't let it go.
Can't let it go. Hey, there is one thing I wanted to bring up to you, Lori, and when we talk about stigma, you posted a thing the other day where colors were not. Colors were banned in a certain bar. And we see that here in Texas a lot, where no colors allowed, no colors allowed, no cuts allowed. Are you seeing that a lot more in Colorado as well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you're seeing it more nationwide. I mean, unfortunately, people have watched too much Sons of Anarchy, and they've watched Mayans MC, and they've watched, the biker movies, and they think that we're all like that. And so when they do go in to own a bar, they're like, oh no, no colors allowed. I think, and I really gave this a lot of thought when we decided to talk about this today, that I want to say to any bar owner that you absolutely have a right to have whom you want in your establishment. And if that's not your cup of tea, but you need to understand what that means. And no colors means that you don't let any clubs in.
No baseball teams, nobody in matching outfits.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, where does that stop? That says, hey, I don't want anybody in blue T-shirts, or you can't wear this type of logo on your shirt. Where does that cross the line on on your rights. I know they have their right as an owner of a bar, but
but that's my point. If you're going to go no colors, which no colors in the biker terminology usually means a 3-piece patch. Has the name of your club, it has your logo, and then
restaurant owners don't know that. They just know they're a motorcycle.
However, Soldiers for Jesus has a 3-piece patch. You're going to tell me that you're not going to let a biker ministry in there? Combat vets. So what they then try to do is say, well, we won't let 1% clubs in, which we all know what a 1% club is. So I don't want to get into all that. But the problem we have in Colorado is this gentleman who is a retired or no longer a fireman or a police officer in Detroit has now bought a 25-year-old long-standing biker bar staple in our community. And he has renovated it. Michelle passed away. This was a pivotal stop for so many charity rides. So many people love this bar. And Michelle had a policy. If you act up in my bar, you're out. Okay. And if it was a club or something like that, she knew to pick up the phone, call the COC, or call that club's president and say, hey, your boy is acting up in my bar and he's 86. You need to get this under control. The last thing a motorcycle club wants is to have a problem in a bar. Because there's no good that's ever going to come out of it. They're never going to be justified in their actions. Of all things, they need to have the control to look at the guy, kind of like the old mafia guys. You got to be more careful of the silent guy that you are yelling and screaming at in the Italian world, because the one that doesn't say anything is the one you need to worry about. The one that's flailing his arms and blah, 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 blah. Those are babies. The one that looks at you and goes, okay, boo, you do you. That's the person you need to watch out for. But anyway, so what's happened with this bar is he made this bold statement of no colors. He's a fire, law enforcement, and veteran bar. Okay, you do you, boo. But what you're saying is that what about Wind and Fire is a 3-piece patch club? Are they not allowed in?
Right.
The thin blue line.
Here's where your discrimination part comes in, that you're going to allow, like law enforcement motorcycle clubs, they wear patches and they wear, all the gear and everything else. And again, that's a whole nother topic. But the point is, so you're going to let them in. This is where the discrimination and why this is being just snowballed into a much bigger issue here in Colorado with this particular bar. Is if you have a bar that says no colors, then you hold to it, stand with it, and say goodbye to your, the customers and the independents that support that bar. If you're going to now suddenly pick and choose, and here's the big thing: if you're so worried about your 1% clubs, and you're so worried about other clubs, but if they are willing to take their stuff off, they're more than welcome in his bar.
Yeah, I'm, I've seen
a lot of people aren't going to go take off their cut and put it in their bike and go back in.
One thing is most 1% clubs, they have their own hangouts. They have their own bar. If they're going by, they're just doing a drive-by, stopping in for a drink, and not
they're doing a charity event.
Right, or a charity event. They're not going to, 1%ers want to be with their own kind anyway. They know their bars that they want to be at.
Right.
They're not going to go into your little piss hand bar anyway.
Right. So the issue really is that the 1%ers and the clubs in Colorado that are part of the COC and everything else, the word's already gone out. They're not going to go to the bar. They probably wouldn't have gone to the bar anyway, because it's owned by a retired law enforcement.
Right.
So, but it's the fact that you've made the huge statement, and the fact that if they are willing, like if they were willing to go 55, which to people that don't know that means that they take their cuts off and maybe they have a support shirt on, that then they are allowed in. I thought, is it the person that you're having a problem with, or is it what they're wearing? And that's where you start to get into the discrimination aspect of it. It's actually the independent world that's having more of a fit about this than you're really seeing the clubs, because the clubs have other bars, you're right, that they can go to. But here's the problem as far as people going Bud Light. you know, the issue with Bud Light is Bud Light made a statement and the community followed, is that now charity rides that would have, now that this bar is back open, that would have normally added this really great spot, will now have to rethink and have to go around that bar.
Yeah, now the damage is done, and the damage is done. There's no taking that back. You know, we know. You know, now it's all about the money and not the pride or the support.
Well, they're not
now
get
it's
the
all
money
about
either.
the money, right? So
Bikers spend money.
Right.
And they spend money. And in the article that I wrote on Motorcycle Rider News, I said, you know, they are also people that will come in midday because they're taking a ride, and they'll come in with 12 guys, all eat a $12 or $15 burger, drink a beer, whatever their beverages are. And that's revenue that you're basically doing this to and saying you're not welcome. Where had he just said, listen, everybody come in, I want you to behave. And if you don't behave, then I'm going to have to instill this. But he's being incredibly obnoxious on social media, and he's just, you know, digging his own grave. And it's sad because he's put a lot of money into this.
It won't be there very long. That bar's going to be vacant real soon.
And as much as I listen, and as you guys know me, I have a husband that's in a club, and he does him, I do me. I have, and I'm not saying he doesn't respect law enforcement or fire or anything like that. I don't think those three entities, given the location of this bar, which is out in the middle of Franktown, Colorado, is it's all great now and they'll all support. But then, as everything, you have to then go on with your life, and you're going to need those independent bikers. And here's the other thing: what if you're an independent rider that happens to have a shirt that you bought from a club, says I support the blank, and you walk in there? So is it going to be okay for that independent rider to go in with their support shirt for that club? You know, it gets into so many aspects that are just something that, you know, we're living in this world of everybody should be included and equity, and I'm not all for all that, but I'm just saying it's just a real tragedy. This is a 25-year-old biker bar establishment that's now, the owner died, someone's bought it. He could have changed the name and done what he wanted, but he's wanting to feed off that previous name and the popularity that it had, and he's just basically, you know, giving F-bombs and calling people that dare to challenge it drama queens, and you know.
Send us his phone number. We'll call him on air one day.
I'm gonna. Ooh,
how great would that be? We can call him on air. Hey, one thing. Speaking about your husband doing him and you doing yourself.
Well, I knew you'd go back there.
I had to go back there because I wanted to say, you know, happy anniversary. Speaking about doing each other, happy anniversary to both of you.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. You know, my greatest, since he's going to watch us and know I threw him under the bus, one of the greatest things I've ever said about him was he walked up to me. He used to ride with Baca, and he walked up to me and he's like, I hear you're getting engaged to a guy in Las Vegas. And I was like, yeah, you know, and he's like, you're making a big mistake. I've loved you from afar for 2 years and I don't want you to go to Vegas. And I was like, dude,
how romantic.
I looked at him like, you're a psycho. What are you? I don't even know who you are.
Lifetime movie right there.
Did you be like, what are you offering here? What do you got to offer?
Yeah, and stuff. So I was trying to be really polite, and he asked me if I wanted to go to breakfast, and I was like, yeah, but we're going to breakfast where I know where I'm close to home. And he drove me to the airport the next day so I could go to Vegas to get married. And I ended up not getting married. And after about a month and a half of just being talking on the phone, and he was relentless. He was a pit bull. He would not give up. I finally called him one day and I said, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? I'm coming home. And he's like, yeah. I said, no, you're not hearing me. I'm coming home and I'm never coming back.
This is a movie.
Yeah, it would be a good movie. And then he picked me up and he was married. And I said, hey, I don't do married. And he moved in, I guess, about a week later. And that was almost 14 years ago. So he's pretty awesome.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute story.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, when it comes to keeping things separate, listen, I have an immense respect for people that are in clubs. I have immense respect for bar owners. I go through this on the cruise that we were talking about last week when the biker community's bitching. And I'm like, you don't realize what it takes to sustain that kind of, a group event. I would love to have a discussion with this guy, but he's so angry, that I just think that it was a topic that I felt for motorcycle rider news was something that needed to be said and show some of the revenue stream that he could potentially lose. And maybe he'll change his mind, and if he does, I think he would find that, that bar would be packed. And he can make money and we can all be happy. And if someone gets out of line, we'll fix it. But if you look at the percentage of bar fights in the state of Colorado or Texas or anywhere, there are more bar fights by just people that are drunk and stupid than there ever is in the biker community.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Mr. James, I'm going to address your little punk ass right now. So our account got hacked, so you can take that little post and shove it up your damn ass. We don't support that. We support our country. We support Donald Trump. I do, at least. So you can go fuck yourself on that comment, Mr. James. So that's what I got to say about that. We can continue now. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I know there's a story there that I don't know about.
Our account got hacked and something got posted that we didn't agree with, and so we took it down after we realized it was up, and so it got taken. So it is.
It was only up for a couple minutes.
But somebody's got to be a little bitch on the internet and post some bullshit.
So no, you didn't, James. You're in trouble.
You got the pit bull, bitch.
Yeah, he's probably from California.
Probably
one of those warriors. But
anyway, getting back to a lot of the things that Glenn said as far as motorcycle safety, that accident scene management class is really something. Don't you have an envelope that you need to open?
If there's money in it, I
left it in the car. The box. Lori?
I'm here.
Oh, the box that you sent me?
Yeah.
I left it in the car.
Now we were going to open, and Pippo was going to get something. And
all right, you know what? I stay on. I'll run down to the car now.
You want to sing by myself?
No. Let's just do it. No. You're running late. Let's promise you'll do it next week.
Yeah, because we got to bring on the Thin Blue Line in a little bit anyway.
Yeah, so let's do it for next week. But
okay. All right.
All right. God bless you guys. Ride safe. And please remember, everybody, if you know of somebody that's been in an accident, please do a help request on bikerdown.org. Everybody that's listening knows somebody that's gone down recently. Give me a chance to help them, give them emotional support, financial strategy. And just remember, if you go down, we step up. See you guys next week.
Once again, Lori, awesome. Thank you, Lori. Take care.
No worries. God bless.
Lori Montoya with Biker Down.
Where in
My name is Carol Saint, and I ride with 99.
Hey, I'm Homie, and I ride on the 99. You can watch it every Wednesday, 99% Radio.
Hello, beautiful people. I am Chaz. I ride with 99, baby. Woo! 99% Radio every Wednesday. Stay tuned. Woo! Y'all be fantastic. Where?
My name is Carol Saint, and I...
Woo. Oh, there we go. Welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. Man, that was Lori Montoya with Biker Down out of Colorado. Pipple got a little agitated right there, right?
They didn't give me my road name for no reason. Sorry, I said
that's all right.
I got one in today.
Yeah, you got one in. You got one in. Man, I want to welcome. When we're talking about law enforcement motorcycle clubs, that give back to the community. We are once again, and I'm wearing their shirt, supporting their shirt. Proud to have the Thin Blue Line LEMC in here. Once we get them up on the camera here, we got them up on camera. All right, welcome guys and girls
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay,
sorry about that.
There you go.
How you guys doing?
How are you guys doing? How you doing?
It's my favorite boys in blue over here and ladies.
But before we start with you guys, there is a special celebration that you guys have today, and it's a birthday.
It is.
It is a birthday. So we.
And it's Everready's birthday tomorrow too.
Tomorrow. Okay. So we're celebrating 2 birthdays.
But he don't count. He's too old. He's just like me.
It always counts. And he's a treasurer. He counts.
But as a tradition, we have to sing happy birthday. We have to on tradition. And you gonna do that?
Of course.
You're gonna do all right. You guys ready to sing?
We're ready.
Right?
We're ready.
All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yous guys. Happy birthday to you guys. Happy birthday to you guys. No, and many more. So, one thing the Thin Blue Line does is it constantly gives back to the community. And when we talked with Lori Montori about all these biker clubs that, and that's what the 99% Radio Network's all about. It's giving you guys a voice to show what you do in the community, because that uplifts you. That helps you raise funds for the things and the projects and the people in your community to help, support them. And you guys just helped out Meadowland PD, was it?
Meadows Police Department.
Meadows Police Department. Can you throw up those pictures that we have? Meadows Police Department. Not all police departments are funded that well, so they do lack some of the equipment that they need to perform their duties throughout their daily performance of the job. I know down in El Paso, Texas, some of those cops are not even having bulletproof vests, or they don't have computers in their cars. They can't do proper checks on prisoners or car stops. But you guys supplied some tasers, non-lethal tasers, to this department. Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically, the foundation got a grant from a company out of Houston, and the stipulations of the grant was you had to give it away in that area. So basically, they gave it away to Meadows Place. They bought 3 tasers. They bought dog leashes for Harris County Sheriff's Department and a couple other things. And just this month alone, I just got a text from our Kingwood president, chapter president, Airborne. The Lone Star chapter just gave away $21K this month to breast cancer warriors, and Kingwood also gave away $3K to the deputy that's down there fighting cancer. Myself and Everready and Prophet here last month, what touched me pretty good besides the bikes. Thank you guys, you and Spokes for Hopes for that. We have
That was
5th
Paul
graders.
Gregory band out there in Spokes for Hope.
We have 5th graders in the school that's never had a bicycle before. They were, all kinds of tears, my witness here, but we just went on a poker run here last month in a little town northeast of us, population 2,500, 6 officers, everybody? 6 officers, and they don't even have tasers. So that's going to be our next mission in life, basically, is to gain enough funds where we can at least get 3 where they can, switch off back and forth.
So there's nothing to do a mild.
No
anything.
less lethal whatsoever.
Wow.
Now, what is the cost of a taser, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah,
What is the
Let's
cost
check
of it?
Amazon.
Normally about $200 to $2,500.
$2,500 a taser.
A legit one, I guess not.
Well, I've
the
got an
TV
actual
version.
I've got an actual
with the sparkly
Not the one from
keychain.
Academy.
With the sparkly
I've got
keychain.
an actual invoice here. The invoice that when we purchased the Missouri City, basically it was $6,419.81 just for 3 tasers.
3 tasers.
3 tasers, holsters, cartridges, and of course the warranty backup.
6,300.
6,400
for 3.
for
That is
3 tasers.
insane.
It's high as a kite, but
But
we
when
can
you
do
think
it.
about it, when you think about that price tag and the lives it may save, right? You really can't you can't even think about putting a price tag on it.
And the less
because
stress it would put on an officer knowing
It
that they had
does.
that with
It
them
does.
instead of being like, man, I'm gonna have to manhandle or I'm gonna have to figure something else out. That's crazy.
yeah, you don't want to put when an officer's in a position
Not
where he's
manhandle,
got
wrong term, but you know
where
what I
he's
mean.
got to shoot or don't shoot, to have that non-lethal backup
what's
is
needed.
always
It makes
a nice
huge
choice. Makes a
difference.
huge difference, right?
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Especially nowadays.
Well,
that's
most-
stressing me out thinking about
and
it,
most
being
of
in
the
a
time-
situation like
most
that.
of the time in a situation like that, all you have to do is turn it on, put the laser on them, and they're like, okay.
So is that the kind that I see like that shoots out the things
Yes.
and gets him? It's not like the one that you.
No, these have
So
the
that's
actual
why it's that
prongs that
expensive one
fly
because
out,
it
right.
catches them and all
We
that
gotta
whatever.
Right.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Is that the one that the cops have to practice on when they?
Yeah.
I love
think they
watching
shoot
those
each other in the
videos.
academy now, right?
Well, maybe we can bring one next time and
No,
practice on you.
you
No.
pop my implant or something. I ain't doing it.
Well, I have my video when I got tased because as law enforcement
I need
officers,
this.
we do need to get trained. We get
Mhm.
trained on the taser, and ourselves we are.
I need
subjected
this
to
video.
getting shot with the taser. So I have my video.
I
and
want
scream
this.
like
We'll
a
have to
little
play it.
girl,
Yeah,
but
I want to
will
play
go
this.
too.
Experiencing
I
the
teach
real
it.
thing is
I've
better.
been tased about
I
5
would.
times.
Wow.
I would love to go watch that in real life. Just be in the audience, like, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So you teach it,
I teach it.
right? And when you talk to your students, and we even said it's a nice backup to have. What's the comfort level when officers get to use the taser besides a lethal firearm?
It's nobody goes out wanting to critically injure, shoot anyone.
Really, that's not what the media says.
Yes. No, that means everything you tried before has failed.
Right.
And you really do not want to do that. The taser is a great tool, but like I said before, most of the time, if you pull and just put the laser on them, they see that.
Scares them though.
They will normally give up because they know you can tase them. They know you can't shoot them.
And
but
how
they know
far
you
does
can
that
tase
go?
them.
Like, how much
Well,
distance do you have?
depends on the taser. They're normally some go up to 25 feet. You're not going to be that car. It's spread, so you're not going to be that far anyway. But 7 to 12 feet is the optimum.
That's
distance.
enough to give you
A nice spread,
Mhm.
and you get the neuromuscular incapacitation when you hit them both, and that really brings them down. But it's better for everyone. It's much better for the person. They're not going to get hurt. It's
Mhm.
5 seconds.
Mhm.
You know, you don't have to put.
The longest 5 seconds for them, though.
See, but I just want to back up to some of my
Mhm.
training. When you talk about a taser, people turn around when someone's got a knife, right? And they're holding a knife down, and they're about 21
Oh,
to
this is a
25,
knife.
and they were like 25 feet away from you. That 25 feet can close in less than 2 seconds.
Mhm.
Not enough time to draw your weapon. And a lot of cops have been stabbed repeatedly from an assailant 25 feet away who charges at them
Mhm.
before they can draw their service weapon. So when they have that taser out, they can really have that few more seconds to talk
Mhm.
down the situation.
Well, yes, but in reality,
Yeah.
if they come out with a knife, your taser gets put up.
Yeah.
The taser gets put up.
You
and
putting out
go-
the other. You bringing out the
and
big
you- and you
guns.
pull up your-
Well, yeah, okay.
Legit, for
All right,
real.
all right.
Yeah, there ain't no zap zap. It's pew
Yeah.
pew.
They didn't have the only people that had tasers when I was on a job with the bosses, and it was just coming out.
Because they were $6,500. That's why
Yeah.
only the big guys got them.
Yeah. They didn't trust us.
You guys
with
got to
it.
fend for yourselves.
But it is a great tool to have. It's a great compliance tool.
It's like a
Wonderful
security thing. I mean, I know it's probably a lame word to say to cops. It's like a security blanket in a way. Like you have that extra level.
You
for
got
the way
extra
I would
level
put
of-
it.
That way you don't have to. You can get less
It
engagement.
doesn't go from that to
Right.
Well, there's an escalation of force, correct?
It's a de-escalation.
A de-escalation of
Mhm.
force, but you go from your verbal commands to either your nightstick to your taser to your firearm.
Right.
Depending on the situation, you can go from verbal to firearm depending on the situation.
Right.
But this at least gives you some steps. And
Yes.
Don't
Gotcha.
forget about the fun spray, is what I call it. The OC spray.
OC spray. I teach that also.
is it
okay.
tear gas or pepper spray? Or is that the same thing?
It's a pepper spray. Tear gas is totally different.
Totally different.
Tear gas doesn't go in
No.
so that's just okay.
It's pepper spray.
Education. I had
pepper spray, I never liked it because if it's windy, it's blowing back. in
well,
your
they just
face.
had with the riots. There was some guy with his kids, and they were doing the peppers or something, and like the kids are sitting on the ground. It's okay, kids. I'm like, why are you bringing your kids to a riot?
Why not?
Bonding time, summer vacation.
Couldn't find a babysitter.
Cali.
Go LA.
Yay. Disney.
Oh man.
Anyway, sorry.
We had and we were talking about LA. This is going on all over the country in New York, and we
had it here.
we had some riots in Dallas. We didn't. I don't know
say
if they
a
were considered
riot,
riots.
protest.
They were protests. They blocked the road.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was injured or hurt. They didn't cause any damage.
Didn't get
not
stuck
that
on
I
the
know
bridge
of.
like last time. That
No,
was funny.
I think they just it was more.
Not the cops, the guys.
It was peaceful, right? Just to say the least. Nothing like LA,
No.
where it went crazy, no looting and stuff. So once again, you guys now for 3 tasers, $6,500.
$6,500.
How can we help out with that? Like, how can we help? Like, I think we get the word out for that. I mean, that's important for the cops to have that don't have that. There should be a way for us to.
And this is small town USA also,
I know.
where they need 2,500 is the population. One of the patrol cars was a hoopty. It was, I mean, a Crown Victoria. They're not really hoopties, but nowadays,
that's the good. That's a good car. That's the metal door.
And of course, I really don't know how to play poker at all. God is my witness. I actually, out of 65 bucks, I actually won the poker tournament.
What?
And in a hobo fashion, they gave out money and a flag. I gave them the money back just to help. The flag, now I'm gonna keep the flag where I'm hanging my new office next year.
Nice.
But that's what we do. We give back. I know I can reach out to our chapters right now and probably raise the money with no problem. But we want to kind of reach out to the community also. Maybe the community can help us on this because, as I said, it's small town USA. And the chief of police down there, he rides, the sergeant rides, everybody rides. So it was a great poker run, well organized. And I mean, you were there. Say something on that.
Oh, it was good.
Instead of laughing at my jokes.
It was my first poker run to attend, and it was all good. Met a lot of good people. Made a lot of good connections, and everybody out there was just out there for a good cause. Everybody you talked to that was anywhere around, and there were all kinds of colors and cuts, and
makes you feel good when everybody's there for the same thing.
Yeah. But getting the community involved, because now the
Yeah.
community feels that they supported their police department,
And they might not be aware that they don't have the funds
That's the
either.
thing. They're not aware that they don't have the
They
funds.
assume, So I think that's important. That's why you get the community involved to let them know they do need help. They don't have everything. They're doing the best they can with what they got.
How do you go about that? Like to advise the community that the police department needs this, because a lot of people can turn around and go, well, that goes out of the budget. That goes out of the city budget. But how do you tell the community how does a police department say with 6 members say, hey, we need this? How could they go out for community support or local motorcycle club support?
Well, one of the things was a poker run. Everything that was there is going.
But how'd you find out about this? This is
how we found about it. Is our brother Prophet that's in the club. Brother Prophet is way up high and on the totem pole when it comes to law enforcement licensing. So he's familiar with them down there. He knows. He got us down there, and it's not just tasers, body cameras. The body cameras they have, you may as well just take out a cell phone like they are in LA and recording things because they don't have that either. So.
Wow.
But you have to measure what's more important, body cam or taser.
Right. See, that's information that needs to be brought out, because there are a lot of understaffed, underfunded police departments throughout the state of Texas.
You don't realize how expensive things are either.
Yeah.
For them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, what's it cost now to outfit even a guy
brand
coming
new
out of the
officer,
academy,
yeah.
a brand new officer, probably about $5,000-$6,000 with all the equipment, with vest and
A
helmet.
vest, a vest itself is $2,500 to $3,000. Then you got the firearm, then you got the duty belt, then you got your ass baton, then you have everything else that goes with it.
Baton?
Oh.
And then some of these
I just thought it was a fun word.
Some of these smaller departments, the officer
Has to
who
buy their
has
own.
to buy their own weapon, their own duty
Like
gear,
teachers have to buy their
flashlight,
supplies. The most
Wow.
important people, teachers and cops, have to buy their own stuff. That's crazy.
Exactly.
So it could be in the neighborhood of $10,000 to outfit a police officer with just the basics of what he needs.
Minimum.
So they probably, this probably could be a scenario like they have people that apply, but they don't have the funds to make them a cop. Is that like a scenario? Like if they don't are able to
Correct.
outfit them,
Just go to the academy itself. If outside agencies, they have to pay for that, and it costs. You were an instructor, so what does it usually cost to go to an academy?
For with Dallas, it was It was close to 100,000.
What?
for one officer.
Yeah, I mean, but Dallas is a larger department,
Right.
and so
But a law enforcement academy, just a BPOC, basic peace officers academy, to learn the basics, set you up for the exam. I mean, that can run days or nights, depending on how many weeks it's going to take you to complete it. It could take up to $2,000 to $4,000 just to get through the basic peace officers academy, so that you can take the state exam. And then once you've passed that state exam, then you can go to some of the smaller agencies that don't have an academy, like Dallas has academy. And when they get out of the academy, they work for Dallas PD.
And I know you're going to laugh at this, but just for example, a good pair of footwear now is anywhere from $200 to $250 just for a good pair.
I was gonna say that's cheap these days.
No.
Much cheaper.
They ain't no Louis Vuitton.
Some Air Force Ones.
And I'm sure like officers aren't getting a huge uniform allowance. I know they get a uniform stipend to keep their uniforms clean and pressed and to replace things, but that's not a lot of money per year for the upkeep of uniforms.
no, it's not. Like I said, and there's other equipment. I carry a set of. I'm not advertising for ASP by any means, but they're good equipment. My handcuffs cost $100 a piece. My flashlight.
I know where you can get
my
them
flashlight
cheaper.
is this big, and
But yours are furry. Yours are
They're,
furry.
they're not the pink
You
fuzzy
can't.
ones.
You just can't pull out the furry cuffs, you know.
That would be cute.
And,
Excuse me. Put your hands on your back.
It costs you a lot of money. I mean, it'll last you a long time, but because I have one set of handcuffs I've had for over 30 years.
Wow.
And they work just fine, but yeah, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean,
And a lot of that comes out of the officer's pocket.
a lot of it comes out of the office spikes, and we have so many smaller, like New York City. I had 2,800 people in my graduating class at the academy, but you're talking about there's 38,000 police officers in New York City. Here in Texas, we have a large amount of police officers, but we have segregated towns. You know, New York City was, I mean,
little cities inside
it
of
was
big city.
right.
Right.
You know, you didn't really have all in New York. You either have the NYPD, you have Nassau County or Suffolk County police departments.
You had blocks that were
You didn't really have like Hearst, Bedford, Euless, Irving. Each community didn't have its own police department. So that's a lot of funding for that one department of maybe either 6 or 10 or even 200 officers is considered a small department, you know? So we have to get the word out that a lot of these departments need the funds. So when you see these bike runs coming up for a law enforcement agency, reach out to that law enforcement agent. Reach out to the Thin Blue Line and say, how could I help? How could I be part of this? How could I support the community that you're supporting? Right?
I find a lot of those events on Facebook events too. Like I'll find like a lot of clubs that do rides and fun. So that's a good way to find it too. Like if you're wanting to support something, go on your event page on your Facebook and you find all these little rides that they post.
Yeah. And people talk about training. That helps train these small departments. You know, that helps get them trained up to where they need to be to handle adverse situations. You know, if you want somebody on the street policing, you want somebody well-trained.
Right.
Well-trained, who knows how to handle all the equipment they have, who knows how to de-escalate situations they need to, who knows how to talk to people. And that costs some money sometimes. And you just need to have the money, the funds to send these people to this training.
Right.
And, you know, segueing into that, the Dallas chapter has a big event coming up. That
We're going to get into that. We're going to play commercial and we're going to get into that.
I'm just trying to get you, baby.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. I got you. You know, and that's, you know, I just want to reverse back to Paul Gregory and Spokes for Hope for donating those bikes. You know, Spokes for Hope, Alton, yes. Ooh, Melton started this. He was a Grapevine police officer, and he wanted to find a way to bridge the gap between the community and the police department. And what better way was to give bikes to children and have police officers give these bikes to children. So this way, you're not always having a negative impact with a police officer. You're having a positive. And that's what you did at the school by giving these bikes to these children. They see you as an SRO, but they know you're a police officer. So they see you as more of a human being now not some guy who's taking mom or dad away on a drunken disorderly, but somebody who's there to support them and help them.
And it touched a lot of hearts, not just the you got me choking up here a little bit, not just the bikes, but we gave away footballs, basketballs. We started out with 10. Donation was great. We ended up with 14.
Nice.
Our assistant school board superintendent was there. This has never been done before in this school district.
Wow.
And were they crying? I mean, a 5th grader never had a bicycle. Never had a bicycle that was actually in tears, that just, all the hugs, all the high fives. So next year I made a commitment to the school board to double those bikes. I mean, Houston every year in that area, they give out 50 to 100. This year, Dallas, we're going to do a large this coming school year.
But the best side of this was you just didn't hand these bikes out to anybody in the school.
No.
It was grade performance.
Grade performance.
Now, the school district, I didn't want to name it, but the school district that you're in is was a low grading school.
The school that I was in a low grading school. You can't get them no lower than where I was at, where they assigned me at.
But once they found out that the bikes were coming, how did you see that performance rise?
It went from, frowny faces to smiley faces every day. It went from missing school days to, they had 7 of them with perfect attendance. If I had 15 more bikes, we could have gave them all away because they went from the grades bottom shelf up to straight A's. It was overnight almost. It was it was great.
Yes.
It was a lot of
The
motivation.
motivation they had, and they knew that was something that they
Well,
couldn't get.
a lot of these kids in the inner school districts, okay, they see what's going on around in their neighborhood. They don't have that. They see destruction. They see despair. They see poverty all the time. So when they can go to school, and in certain schools, you don't have teachers that they're there for a paycheck. They're not really giving it all to their kids. But when someone like you says, all right, here's what we got a plan to do, you show them some direction, show them there is something that you will gain if you work a little harder. All these kids have proven that they can do it. Now, I bet you wanted to give more bikes. Like you said, you wanted to give more.
If I could have, I would have.
And you know what? Next year, we will make that happen. We will get Spokes for Hope, because this was a quick thing. We will get Spokes for Hope more intimately involved with that, and they will be part of this. And you can, really make this a nice thing for all these children.
And also, I'm going to hit up my, the Dallas chapter here. I'm going to hit up the nation where I'm at of. I'm going to hit up the DFW chapter. And I've already got commitments from a lot of Houston chapters that'll donate a couple bikes. So maybe I can do 2 schools this year instead of 1.
Hey, yes.
And a lot of focus too is, I've got a corporation, a hospital that we donated a bunch of uniforms to, where, the kids can't afford clothes to go to school, and pencils. I mean, that stuff, it tears me up, because now we're able to do it. Back in the day when I was growing up, no, but all of us now, fortunate, we're able to do something and raise awareness and raise stuff for the community. It's a great thing.
Another friend of ours who's in another biker club, he's part of the Southern Dogs, and his name is Ken Harrison. The Shiner. He does a lot of bikers against bullying, and he works, and what his group does is they ride a bullied kid to school on the bike, and they have a 99% success rate of not. They've only had 1 failure. But and they teach bullying, and they get into these schools, the schools that allow them to teach what bullying is all about. And what you just said about the clothing and the backpacks, and kids can be so cruel these days. So when you're not walking into school with designer shoes on, or designer pants, or you have a Walmart backpack, some of these kids will pick on them, and they'll call them names and the whole bit, and that destroys a child's motivation to learn, because now all they're thinking about in school is, I'm getting bullied, or it just brings the kid down. It doesn't give the kid the potential to learn what they want to learn when they go to school. So this all goes into with bullying, and what you guys are doing, giving bikes away and clothes and school supplies. It helps to build the kid motivation, and you are building better children in our schools. That you cannot put a price tag on that.
It's a great feeling. Also, it's a great feeling. If nobody's ever done it before, I would challenge people to do this in their schools that their kids go to or whatnot. It's an excellent feeling. Excellent feeling.
I bet. And well, I want to thank you, Hobo, and thank Spokes for Hope for really uplifting our children and making better kids, man. Because you'll see it. You will see. Probably if you follow these children now, just because of that bike, who's going to go to college, who's going to succeed, who's going to be more responsible, because they will pass that on to the next generation. And that's how we build bigger and better. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back on how you can support by just swinging a golf club right after this.
Leather Up will keep you safe while looking great with a huge selection of armored and casual flannel shirts. From beaded to sleeveless, Leather Up's got badass gear for all riders and all seasons. Leather Up with 3.5 million customers since 1999. Iconic biker brands like Milwaukee Leather and Hot Leathers to give you the largest selections anywhere. Comfort, variety, classic styling, and affordability with free same-day shipping on orders over $100. Visit leatherup.com and use the promo code MAYHEM for 20% off.
Smell that barbecue from here. Lone Star Cuisine, the ultimate food truck for all your upcoming events. Randall Thompson takes pride in all his food. Give him a call. Book today. 817-500-1033.
My name is Carol Stanky, and I ride with 99.
Hey, I'm Homie, and I ride on the 99. You can watch it every Wednesday, 99% Radio.
Hello, beautiful people. I am Chaz. I ride with 99, baby. Woo! 99% Radio every Wednesday. Stay tuned. Woo! Y'all be fantastic. All right.
Hey, welcome back to the award-winning 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. We are here with the Thin Blue Line, LEMC, man. We just spoke with Hobo, one of the ambassadors with the foundation, who discussed about giving bicycles away from Spokes for Hope to the school district and uplifting our children. But if you want to know how you can help, you can come out in September for their amazing second annual golf outing. And Cuffs, how you doing? Just get closer to grab one mic.
She knows. She's been here before.
Real quick, before we get started on the golf tournament.
Okay.
And Triton of the Blue Line Dallas chapter has something to tell you.
Okay, so last year our first golf tournament was great. Thanks to you. In large part. So, and you've been a big support of ours. We've seen you all over the place. We do appreciate it. So we have a gift for you. We have a $1,000 check
For the 99%.
What? 99% Radio Network. To show our a small token of our appreciation for all.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
All
That's
that
from the Dallas chapter.
Wow.
Thank you, guys. I am
We
crying.
We wouldn't be able to do a lot of what we do without y'all's support and assistance.
Nation, Dallas, DFW, we couldn't do what we do without you guys' support. We greatly appreciate it. They greatly appreciate it. So,
As much as we need this money to keep going,
For once.
I don't know if you'll agree with me on this or not.
What? Oh, yep.
You agree with me on
Sure.
this?
No.
No.
No. Well, I'm going to deposit this check into our account, and I want to donate $500 back to you guys. I want to donate $500 back to you guys for a taser, for your next taser, for one of the police departments.
So why don't you guys keep that for other things that you have coming up? We'll work the taser thing out. We appreciate that 100%. That's for you guys. That is for you.
Wow.
Wow.
People, you can't buy more beer. No more beer.
My God. Thank you guys so much. Oh, we love you. Brother, thank you. Thank you. It's like my birthday, our birthday, people. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Brother.
Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, my God. Wow. You know, this
means a lot.
This means so much, and this will help
we do
out
this for free, y'all.
a lot. Yeah, this will help out so many charities this summer, where we can donate, because we don't take a paycheck. So all this will end up donating back to
Somehow,
to the kids in the hospital, to the Tattoo Mark Foundation, bringing teddy bears to the kids in 18 different hospitals throughout the state of Texas.
Maybe getting us some new travel mics.
Some travel mics.
Equipment.
Yes.
Equipment. See,
Maybe
the
some-
police department needs
Wow.
equipment. The
Oh,
99% radio
my
network.
God.
I did
needs
hear
equipment.
dang it, my
Thank
emotions in this episode are crazy. Ready to fight someone now? I'm gonna cry.
I know, really. It's like PMS. I'm having PMS.
Well, maybe, yeah,
Maybe.
actually.
Oh, but no, thank you. This is one. Oh my God, that is so wonderful. Thank you so much. So let's
cash
get
in and
back onto the
frame it.
golf outing. Let's get,
I
Cuffs.
won't steal a cart this time.
You get your own carpet.
There's like a little GLA that
Only if you show up in your little Caddyshack outfit.
I'm totally coming in a Caddyshack outfit.
we are going to dress. We are going to dress in typical Caddyshack attire this year.
Blue plaid socks, white
Yeah,
pants.
we are going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be Bill Murray. I think I'm going to go chase the golfers. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to.
You need to be Bill Murray.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be Bill Murray.
Oh,
So-
the boots.
Yep. I am going to be the total Bill Murray. Hey, if
Golfer.
anybody wants to join us at the golf outing
a great
and be
time.
part of the Caddyshack experience, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun because this
September
is all,
29th.
Yeah, this is all for a good cause. Last year,
The Iron
and I'll
Horse.
always remember this. You were so stressed out, but you know what? You pulled off the
No,
first.
she wasn't. She did it with breeze
She
and
did.
beauty.
But she pulled off an amazing golf outing for the first annual, and this year it's going to be even bigger
It was
and
a
better.
beautiful
Tell us a little bit about it.
day and everything.
So our second annual golf tournament this year is going to be at the Iron Horse Golf Course. We'll be returning there September 29th. We have a QR code where teams and people can register. Also, on that same QR code, we have sponsorships, and we want to say a very special thank you to Glenn Larson Law and the Wolf Pack. They are our title sponsor again this year. So
Always
we're
giving
very,
back.
very
Always
excited to
giving back.
have Glenn and his team there.
The Wolf Pack.
And I'm going to actually let Everready talk about the tournament and what we raised over $10,000 last year for our first tournament. And when I got the
my.
numbers, and it still gives me goosies
That's
thinking about
crazy.
it. So we're not saying that we're trying to double that this year
Yes,
or
we are.
having the double of
Yes, we are.
of the players. We want to be realistic, right? And so with your help at getting the word out and doing what we do as a law enforcement motorcycle club, it's really just to give back, one, to the families of fallen officers, first responders, and we've extended that now to piggyback off of what Nation's doing and giving back to local law enforcement agencies. And I'll let Everready talk more about that.
All right.
Yeah, again, the purpose of the golf tournament is to raise funds, and a lot of people want to know, well, what are you doing with that money? Well, as we've talked and already, we're helping schools mainly we focus on the Title I schools that don't have the large budgets and the large resources that the bigger schools get.
Right.
Those are the ones where your teachers are spending up to $5,000 of their own money throughout the school year just for basic supplies for these kids.
Yeah, I mean, my niece and my daughter are both school teachers in different districts out here, and when just before school starting, they stress out that they spend a couple of $1,000s just decorating the classroom to make it presentable for the children, and they got to buy all this stuff and cubby holes and everything, and it's a lot on a teacher.
It is. And in addition, we're the primary thing that we always watch for is any fallen or severely injured law enforcement. We make sure that their families are taken care of in their time of need. We do what we can with what we have and based on what their needs are.
I don't mean to cut you off, because I just want to educate some of our audience that are not law enforcement. You know, when a law enforcement officer gets shot or he gets injured in the line of duty, everybody who is outside the realm thinks, oh, big paycheck for that officer. Insurance money is going to kick in, but sometimes it could take up to a year, if not longer, for insurance money or settlements to be funded to the family. But the mortgage company don't care about that. The electric company don't care about that. The car payments don't care about that. The food bill doesn't care about that. These families of those injured officers who are out of work, not collecting a full paycheck, still have bills to pay. So this gets them over that big hump. It gets them to survival mode until that a year from now or 2 years from now or whenever compensation can kick in, right? This is a life-saving lifeline.
Correct. Yeah, and that's the main focus of what we try and do is and then as we talked about earlier, some of these smaller law enforcement agencies as we get to more of these outlying events. Yes, we're the Dallas chapter, so our focus is in the Dallas area.
Right.
However, if there's some of these smaller departments right outside of Dallas, because let's face it, Dallas PD, for the most part, they get a budget.
Right.
A lot more than these smaller outlying cities that don't get that kind of budget because they're small and they just don't get the tax base that the other bigger cities do. So that's the other thing that we want to do is start always looking out for those. We are not in this to make money. We're not rich by any means. Yes, we made 10,000, but again, it goes back out. It goes back out to the community. Yes, that's right. And that's the goal on this one too, is we don't have any specific things yet that we're saying definitively this X amount of money is going to this specific place. We're working on identifying what those needs are, but there's a multitude of them out there.
And that's what you have to be, and that you have to do your homework. You have to do your homework. So when the money does come in, and like 99.9% of the clubs out there that raise money, none of them take paychecks. None of them, go on these lavish, every dime that they pull in, besides administration expenses, goes out. So you have to be weary on where that money goes. You have to make a decision on who the prioritize. And that's why you have board members and you come together collectively and you say, okay, this person needs something a little bit more. We'll do this next time for somebody else. So for anybody who says like $10,000, that's really not a lot of money when in retrospect, when it comes down to a fallen officer
and his family.
Tasers
are six.
When you think just 3 tasers is $6,000. It doesn't even the $10,000 paycheck wouldn't outfit the whole department, which is, it's the true facts. And a lot of our people that are not in the law enforcement realm don't know that. They think the Dallas budget. They think, the city's going to boom, a couple $1 million and everybody's good.
That's
right?
what I assumed. That's what I assumed. I didn't know that the officers had to pay, which same thing, like I keep bringing up teachers. Teachers have to pay for their stuff. That's what I didn't realize, that the police officers were doing that too.
The only one that gets who wins out of this is the firefighters, right? You guys know.
The hose draggers?
The hose draggers. Hey, those guys are all great too. But
we support our fellow
yes,
first responders, our
friendly banter.
Yes,
yeah.
friendly banter.
Yep.
And we have a multitude of sponsors this year, and we're also, we're looking for sponsors. I just got to mention just
Sure.
a few.
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously, Glenn Larson Law, 99% Radio Network.
We're going to have a hole. We're going to have our 99% radio
Yes,
network.
you're going to have your own hole.
You're gonna have your
whichever
hole.
you
Your hole's
want.
gonna be out there.
Yes, we're going to sponsor the hole.
We've got Cabin Enterprises who graciously donated the cost for our food. Breakfast is going to be provided by Iron Horse, but that's paid for by Cabin, as well as our lunch. Our lunch is going to be provided by QTC Barbecue.
Ooh.
They are the same
My three favorite letters.
caterer that and award-winning barbecue smoked meats, and you can find them at QTC Barbecue on Facebook. Shadow Systems Corp, they're donating an MR92 Elite pistol. They donated one last year. They're doing that again this year. It's valued at over $1,000. It's a 9mm. JRB Adventures Alliance with Deanie's Embroideries. They donated last year all of our cooling towels for each player. So they'll be doing that again.
Yeah.
It was a little warm.
A little bit. But it was nice weather. It was definitely nice weather.
Nice weather.
Nice
right?
weather.
Diamond 3D Apiary out of DeBerry, Texas. He's a beekeeper, and he is donating, some donations, as well as Texas Harley, Fort Worth Indian, Longhorn Harley. They're all coming in and supporting us with some donations and goodie bags and raffles, things of that nature. But ultimately, we need the players to come and register using the QR code. I think you have the flyer.
We even put it up on our event page too, that we'd be
Right.
live there. So it is on our event page with the flyer and the QR code and everything on there.
And we are still trying to get some sponsors. If you follow the QR code, there's a tab on the top of that page that says sponsor. You can click on that and see some of the things. Aside from being the title sponsor, Glenn Larson's we already have one of the specialty holes, which is the longest drive. He's going to do that. There will be a prize to be won, which is actually a massage gun.
Oh,
one of those massage guns that
you have one of those, don't you?
I do, actually.
And then I believe Glenn is also providing all the beverages, not adult beverages, people.
Glenn.
Adult beverages from the beverage cart at the hole that he'll be
I feel like
at.
I got a reputation happening here.
Well, you think?
Just a little one.
Well, I gotta give a big shout out to the girl who was driving the beverage cart.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
I
my
love
God,
her.
she was amazing.
amazing. She just still works there.
Oh.
I confirmed.
Yeah,
She's
you got to
still there.
recommend
There was some like lemonade thing and then a Bloody Mary
the
thing.
Bloody Mary thing. See,
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
Right
a year later, we're remembering her Bloody Mary.
Well, right after I stole the golf cart, I went looking for you. And that was the first thing I ran into was the beverage cart. I was like, hey, because that's what got me out of bed. I was at home.
Oh. Beverage cart.
Well, no, I saw you guys were doing a video with a beverage lady getting a drink. And I was like, I can make it there.
Yeah.
So I put on my little golf outfit, got there, stole the cart, and met you at the beverage
Yeah,
cart. And you showed up right at the beverage cart. It was like magic.
It was the place to be. Everybody over at Iron Horse was phenomenal.
It's a beautiful course,
It's
too.
a beautiful course. And from the staff to the wait staff
Super
to
friendly.
the beverage cart girl, whoever she was just amazing. But if you're asking yourself, how can I be a part of this? Well, you could put a foursome or two teams, whatever you want to do on a corporate level. Or you could sponsor a hole, right? You can sponsor a hole, put your name at the hole, and they'll put a sign up there. So if you can't make it out there with a team, you can sponsor a hole, sponsor some prizes, make some donations. You also had the silent auction last year.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, I got the Harley blanket.
Silent auction and door and basically like raffle type, or
Yep.
not raffle, but
the 50/50.
door prize
I got the
type.
laser facial.
Did
treatment
you? There were some good
Along
prizes.
with-
Me and his
Well-
wife Tigger were
Yes.
like fighting over what. Like
Well,
she
we
won
got
some stuff and I
we
won
got
some stuff.
we got the massage, or Tyra got something else, like, so it was really good at that spa. Spa. So the prizes are great. The atmosphere is fun. A lot of
Great venue,
it's
space.
it's good meet
all
and
of it.
greet. Everybody's super nice, and it's a fun day out at Iron Horse.
You can't be mad playing golf.
No, well,
you can. I take that
You
back.
can.
I've seen my dad play.
You can.
I
You
saw
can
a
be.
club go flying
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I left my pitch wedge there.
A little bitty circular object. That's
Oh,
about
I'm
2
gonna bring
inches
marshmallows
around.
this time and
Yo.
just throw marshmallows around so they look
know
like
how
golf balls.
You know how many bent clubs I have?
around.
Oh man, I've you shank a tee shot and then I smack the tee balls. And
Wrong ball.
Wrong ball.
You hit the wrong ball.
Bending my clubs.
I can do a
and
mean
stuff.
Happy Gilmore.
Huh?
I can do a mean Happy Gilmore.
Oh, that would be fun too.
Challenge.
Challenge.
You know, Sideshow, this is just one of the events that Thin Blue Line, as the motorcycle club as whole, is, you know, we're all over the state of Texas and internationally and other places. So this is just one event that's just here locally. And Triton is going to talk about Thin Blue Line as a club as a whole, is what we do. And then we also have Dallas back here. He's going to say a few words too.
All right.
Yeah, we like I said, Thin Blue Line was started in 2009 by our founder Rico. May he rest in peace. He wanted to get away from the 1% look. We want to be more of a law enforcement club. And we promote that. We promote that heavily. Whenever we go to like a restaurant, or like if the guy in Colorado, we come there, everybody's going to leave. When we leave, everybody's going to be happy.
Right.
Because we're gonna be respectful. We have standards that we live by. All of us live by
a code of ethics.
A code of ethics. Right. We have a code of ethics. We have some 800 members, some 40 chapters. We're in 11 states, and we even have a national chapter, international chapter.
International
chapter.
Oh wow!
I didn't know international.
I didn't know you were international.
Yeah.
All right.
And don't forget, come August, we have another new chapter.
That's right.
Eastland, Texas, baby.
Oh wow! And we're very proud. Can I tell them?
Go ahead.
Okay. We're very proud to say that this chapter, in the history of our club, will have the first female chapter president.
Ooh, I like it. She needs to come on.
I think she's on. Oh no!
No, I said she needs to come on. I'm all about the women peas,
Huh?
man.
No. It's another.
Oh, it's another chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, another chapter.
She's actually been on Twisted.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice job,
Wow.
girl. Get it twisted. Get it
Get it
twisted.
So you
I like that.
we like to give a positive image of our club, professionalism. We do have high standards. Yeah, it's just like in law enforcement, you have high standards. We want the same for our club members.
See, and to any bar owner out there that turns around and says no colors, when you have 12 Thin Blue Line guys and females walking into your bar,
It's the safest bar at that
they're
point.
not only they're not only spending a lot of money on food and drinks, but know that every one of your patrons is protected by a law enforcement officer. Many of them have medical training behind them, so they are skilled in any choking procedures or slip and fall injuries. They know how to handle scenes. So when these guys walk into your establishment, you are the most well-protected, well-covered establishment. It's like an insurance policy. You just walk in, everybody's safe in your place. Why would somebody not want colors coming into their establishment? It's crazy. It doesn't make sense.
Quite a few years ago, we did a ride out to Paris, Texas. And we had lunch, and while we were there, an accident occurred at the intersection of where we were. And our Thin Blue Line, our members went out there. We just assessed the injuries, blocked traffic, and and that's what we do. So just because
You're never off duty.
You're
Just never off duty.
We're enjoying a meal.
Exactly.
In a different attire, we still have a duty to respond.
And it's not, you have a duty to respond, but I always say, law enforcement, fire department, anybody in the first responders field, and this goes nurses, doctors, anybody who does this, or veteran, you're cut from a different cloth of God. Okay. Not everybody is up to this job, but those who are up to this job take it serious. They do it 24 hours a day. They are never off duty. They will respond. They never look away. They're always there to help and aid in no matter whatever aspect that is. And that takes a very special person, man. it's not made for anybody. And that's why you guys are like the cream of the crop when it comes to protecting and serving and giving stuff to our community. And that's why our community has to support all first responders on every aspect. And you can show it by responding to this golf classic on September 29th and everything else that the Thin Blue Line does.
And don't forget, the Thin Blue Line rides with the 99.
That's right.
We're going to need that video.
So what I'd like to do now, if I may.
Yeah, of course. You may.
We have a probate here. This is Dallas.
I met him on
Dallas
Saturday.
from Dallas. Remember Forrest Gump? This is Tex from Utah. This is Dallas from.
Yes. I met him at the water balloon fight.
Right.
Yeah, it was an awkward moment. So I walk into Texas Harley, right, by myself, and I see the thin Blue Line guys, and I'm like, oh, I know those guys. So I walk up, I'm like, hey, they just looked at me. I'm like, Trish from the 99. Oh, yep, that happened. Yeah.
Wow, you're so memorable.
I was.
We didn't notice you without a beer in your hand.
That could have been it.
See,
she was looking for one though.
I found some.
So Dallas, you're a probate.
I'm a probate with Thin Blue Line. I come across these guys a couple of years ago. I had some things in my life that was going on that kind of prevented me from getting more active with them, and I kind of wish it wouldn't have. What these guys do and what they do with the community is just it really hits home for me. It really drives it. I grew up rough. I grew up having a hard time. So getting out and helping schools and helping those kids where they have something different. I mean, that really
impacts you.
It does. It really does. And to be able to be on the other side of that to help and give that out to the kids that need it is a big impact. And helping our law enforcement and those guys. I mean, I've got family that serves in the military. I've got family that's been as police officers. I've seen a lot of things go bad for those guys where they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They get out somewhere and people in the community just don't agree with what they're doing, and unfortunately that's just kind of how it goes in the roles that they're in. But to be able to get out there and help them out and show that not everybody's that way, that we can support them, that we're there to support them. We can get a community together and help people, and being a part of that it just really means something different.
And like giving the kids the bikes. You're a probate. So explain what a probate is.
So probate is we're newly coming in. We're learning the way the club does things, how to stand for ourselves, how to be a part of what they have going on and understand what they're trying to do, where they're at in the communities of what they.
Now I know the difference, but just for people, there's prospect and probate. What's
so,
the difference?
In your clubs where you're prospecting, you're going to get a lot of hazing, and they're going to make you like wash the bikes, go get beers, do different things that you don't really want to do.
So you're grandfathered high a little bit up.
Yeah. So as a probate, they're not going to harass me as much, but I still help out. They're eager to help me learn what they have, and I need to be just as eager to learn that information and soak in as much as I can and do what I can.
Like the kids with the bad grades in the school. They wanted to earn that bike. Mm-hmm. Okay. As a probate, you're not wearing the patch yet on your back. And you got to, that's why patches aren't just given out to anybody. You have to be vetted. You have to earn your patch. And each patch on everybody's back is earned through blood, sweat, tears, and brotherhood and sisterhood. And it shows a camaraderie. And if you don't earn that patch, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means maybe you didn't fit in with that club. But when you do earn that patch, it is the most exhilarating moment of your life when you get to sew that patch on. Your pride goes up, your shoulders go back, and you're like, I'm part of something that's bigger and better than myself.
You feel that patch on the back.
You feel that patch. And that's what you work hard on. Either it's 6 months, a year, whatever it takes. You strive for that patch, just like those children thrived for those bicycles.
And I'll say that, we do have civilians in our law enforcement motorcycle club. Dallas is a civilian. He does have a background with families that are in law enforcement, first responders. However, when we're talking about the difference between prospecting and probating, we as law enforcement officers, military, first responders, we've dealt with crap out on the street, right? We've busted our tail ends and we don't have to make our probates
Right.
feel
Makes
like
sense.
they have to earn their.
They've earned it anyway.
We've
Already.
done it out on the streets
Yeah.
before, and so we're not going to make them feel like we've
makes
had to do
sense.
out on the street.
That makes
Right.
sense.
That
I
makes
like that.
sense.
But they also, what a probate learns is how to ride with each other. Gets
Style of riding. You have to learn.
gets comfortable riding next to.
I have to say, an
ano-
LEMC, the way they do parade, you can tell.
Yeah, because
It's
not
tight.
everybody's comfortable riding staggered or even, so you want to be comfortable with the people you ride with. You want to make sure that you're safe, and you develop a bond. And that's not so much the hazing or the wash
It's
the
a
bike, but
brotherhood.
I know Hobo will be like, just wash my bike, probate. No. Go get me a hamburger.
I'll work myself from the bottom to the next.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's, one thing about Thin Blue Line, there is no hazing. You don't wash bikes. You don't go get beers. You don't, the main thing for a probate is to learn your bylaws, because he will get a bylaws test from me as a nation ambassador. That's my deal. I do the bylaws test.
And that's good.
And
That's
he's
good.
knows so far. Dallas knows his stuff. So far, I got to give him that.
Awesome.
But it's not over with yet.
We've worked hard, and so the hazing stuff, that's out. We don't, we don't do all that. And we're a different club.
You can haze me. I'm good. I'm
because
thick-skinned.
our rules are, the club doesn't come first. Religion,
God, family, club.
God, family, work, and then the club.
Oh, work. Okay.
So, it is.
But you got to do it for the family.
You got to do it for the family. You don't work, you got no family.
So it's
until you're retired.
Retired,
retired. So
He ever
But no,
retired.
he's really retired.
I figured.
Yes.
I'm retired, so anytime while I was probating that they would say, "Hey, can anybody?" Sure, I'm there.
Ever ready.
I'm there. I'm there. Hey, who wants to go ride? I'm there.
Nice.
Because I'm retired.
I like
so.
it.
Even though he rides an Indian, he's still okay.
Hey, I like them Indians. We hadn't been over there. They got some slick bikes.
Yeah. But and that's what it's all about. These clubs, and that's why when they turn around the no color thing, know your clubs, know the people that are going in. Most of these clubs are veteran and first responder clubs that are there giving to their community, and we have to support them. We have to give back, and we have to join together as a community and raise the money. $10,000 was a lot of money for the first one. Like Hobo says, it would be sweet if we can double that this year, and we can do it. It can be very easily done with the support of the rest of the community. And donate $100. $500, whatever you can, it all adds up. And at the end of the day, all this money goes back into the community, and you could say you were part of that.
Right. Yeah, every bit of it goes back to the community. We don't have any overhead costs. Everybody here is volunteer.
Right.
Everything on my bike, I paid for.
Right.
Gas, everything. Nobody.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't come out the pot.
Everything. I mean, we pay dues. Yeah, nothing goes to any of the members. Everything goes back out to the families and the people we support.
The Thin Blue Line runs all these community events for the community. They also support our biker community by riding down to Austin and keeping legislation the way it's supposed to be, fighting for bikers' rights, fighting for safer laws for bikers. I know you guys ride those rides every year to Austin, and you get down in front of the women and the congressmen, and you say, hey, as a biker, this is what we need. So it's not only about the community and giving back monetarily. They take the time away from their families to help make a safer community for all of our bikers throughout the state of Texas. So that's another thing you guys do each and every year. So it's not just about getting on a bike and going out to the local burger shop. There's a lot of work behind it. All right. You got any more events besides this one, which we will have up on our webpage, and we'll have it up on our Facebook page. And where else?
See us in Caddyshack outfits.
You'll see us in Caddyshack outfits. Anything else, guys? You guys are good? All right.
Thank you
you guys are
again
more than
for
welcome
doing
to stay for the Mongo log, because we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to hear from Mongo, who is over in
Stuck in Cali.
Southern Cali. But See, they don't go up into the vineyards of
that's true.
the wine country
In the states.
in the states. We're gonna hear from Mongo. We're gonna get his perspective on what's going on in LA from California right after this message.
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 2,000 lives from choking.
We started this company in our garage, just hoping to make a difference, because over 5,000 lives are needlessly lost each year to choking incidents.
Help LifeVac on our mission to save lives.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
LifeVac's patented design creates a one-way suction to remove food or objects obstructing airways. All you have to do is place, push, and pull. And just like that, LifeVac can save a life from choking.
Quite frankly, I thought I was going to die. The LifeVac saved my life in 1-2 seconds.
Get your very own LifeVac now and get 20% off. Visit lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac.
As my personal promise to you, if you order a LifeVac and have to use it, LifeVac will replace it free.
LifeVac works on adults, teens, or toddlers and can be ready in seconds and last a lifetime, guaranteed.
Best of all, you can even use a LifeVac on yourself, the elderly, physically impaired, or those that other methods may not be possible or are dangerous. In the event of a choking emergency, you could save a life, even your own.
Thank you, Daddy.
Life is precious and time matters.
Choking can happen anywhere. Help us put a LifeVac in every home, school, restaurant, car, office, everywhere.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
LifeVac saves lives. Order one for your home, the office. It also makes a great gift. Use promo code Jackie and save 20%. Don't wait another minute. A life might depend on it. Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. That's lifevac.net or 877-LifeVac. Order now.
Smell that barbecue from here. Lone Star Cuisine, the ultimate food truck for all your upcoming events. Randall Thompson takes pride in all his food. Give him a call. Book today. 817-500-1033.
My name is Carol Sankey, and I ride at 99.
Hey, I'm Homie, and I ride on the 99. You can watch it every Wednesday, 99% Radio.
Hello, beautiful people. I am Jazz. I ride with 99, baby. Woo! 99% Radio every Wednesday. Stay tuned. Woo! Y'all be fantastic. Wear it.
Santa Maria! Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Mongo.
Hey, what's happening?
What's happening, Kata?
Another day in paradise out here in Northern California.
I thought I'd never hear that sentence.
Paradise in California?
You know, Mongo, I know you're not anywhere close to where all the
closer than we are.
The riots are happening and everything. What's the tempo like in California? In general, do you know?
You know, I honestly I don't know. There's nothing going on up here. It's like dead. I mean, nobody's talking about nothing. Down in Oakland and San Francisco, they had a couple small incidents, but they don't make the news. They make the local news. It's literally dead up here. So the first night of the riots, I just sat, I watched all night long. It's like I didn't have popcorn, but I couldn't take my eyes off of it because it was like, this is just crazy.
You know, and a lot of the politicians are saying, oh, they're all peaceful. It's only the news that's showing you the violence.
Mm-hmm. They're watching the wrong channel.
They are watching the wrong channel. But But God bless those LAPD officers and all the National Guard and the Marines that are out there that are doing the job to help back each other up and clean up the streets and get those criminals out of there. I'm glad you are safe. You and Rocky is safe out there.
Well, Rocky's even safer than me because she's in Oregon this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm basically keeping the fort down right here, taking care of the dogs. Like today, for instance, I usually go out and I smoke and have my sip before the show. I didn't have time because I was for 2 hours waiting to get my my oil change and my wheels rotated, and then I was like, well, I don't want to do it now because I want to rush through it. I want to enjoy myself. So I did some yard work, and now I sat through the show. So when it's over, my dogs are impatient right now. They want to eat. I'll feed them and I'll go out back. I'll be happy. But it's busy because I'm doing everything. I'm Mr. Mom and I'm Mr. Dad.
Oh, well, when is Rocky getting back?
She actually comes back Sunday night, and then early Monday morning, I'm going back up to Sea Ranch for 2 days to do 2 more days of yard work. Then when I come back, I don't know that I'm going to make next Wednesday's show or not because I pick up Jude and 5-0 at the airport because Rocky and I leave for Alaska the next day.
That's right. You're going on that Alaskan cruise, right?
Right.
Nice.
Oh, that's going to be a beautiful trip for you guys.
Yeah, so it's a busy week. So I mean, I'll pick her up. It's about an hour and a half drive to pick her up, and then get back late, get up early, drive all the way back up the coast again, and then 2 more days of yard work.
Man,
I feel like yard work's a code he's using.
Yeah,
I can't.
it is
There's
code.
like 3 days of
Yeah,
yard work.
yard work is drinking.
I think it's
drinking and smoking.
I think he's
But
himps and hounds.
I think Rocky will check. Rocky will be like, hey, you didn't cut the lawn.
Oh no. Well, she's not going with me up there. She'll see what I did down here. But I do post pictures, let her know what I've done and let her know how hard I work. So she feels sorry for me upon my return.
Ah, there you go. You get a little man love then.
Gratuities accepted.
Well, hey, now I'm sure the Mongol log, because you prepare your Mongol logs prior to the weekend, and I'm sure there's nothing on what's going on the LA. So I am looking forward to what you have in store for us on this week's Mongol log.
Yeah, this one is it's actually I wrote this one probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but other things came up, so I kept pushing it back and moving something else ahead. I was like, you know what, I got to get this one out of the way so that I can move on. It's not boring, but it's slightly dated, but not too bad.
All right. Well, we are waiting to hear the Mongol log from your perspective.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Gun control activist David Hogg has been hit with allegations of the spending practices of his group Leaders We Deserve Political Action Committee. Just 2 weeks into his tenure as the DNC vice chair, Hogg has been using the party's contact list to send out donation requests for his own political action committee, the aforementioned Leaders We Deserve. According to the Federal Election Commission records, this PAC pays him over $100,000 a year. This amount, in my opinion, given his lack of experience, is an amazing amount of money for such a pencil-neck geek. The word experience encompasses a broad range of activities or events that one has encountered or lived through. It's the accumulation of knowledge or skill that results from direct participation or observation. On the other hand, expertise is a more specialized term, referring to the mastery or advanced proficiency in a particular subject, field, or skill set. This is only my personal opinion here, but David Hogg has neither. Some conservative sites allege that his group has spent about $263,000 on its stated mission of electing candidates from Generation Z into office, and also combined with donations to other Democratic Party committees and groups. They spend more than $1.4 million on disbursements to themselves for payroll and to the political consulting firms, as well as legal fees. Additionally, these funds provide travel and entertainment expenses such as hotels, flights, and meals. Conservative outlets are reporting that the group spent comparably little on actual candidates as opposed to travel and expenses. You know, wasteful and fun shit. On May 13th, the credentialing body of the Democratic National Committee voted to void their February election, which elected the young activist David Hogg to one of the party's 5 vice chair positions. Hogg has been vocal in his criticism of ineffective Democrats who he says have been asleep at the wheel and failed to mount an effective challenge to Trump's presidency. The threat to primary even safe seat Democrats has drawn criticism from the old guard of the party. Recently, veteran Democratic strategist and the cartoon voice of the Looney Tune Rooster character Foghorn Leghorn, James Carville, called him a contemptible little twerp. It's not very often that I agree with Carville, but in this instance, he's spot on. Democrats believe that the economy should work for everyone, that health care is a right, that diversity is our strength, and that democracy is worth defending. Well, although I agree to a certain extent, I don't think health care is a right just because you're here and presumably or hopefully alive. Yes, we should all have access to health care, but if we all just receive it for free because the Democrats say that the government should provide it for free, our current healthcare system would be an even bigger shit show than it currently is. Now, there are instances where healthcare should absolutely be provided for free to select individuals, but we are not all in the select circumstances. Democrats claim to be fighting to build an economy that works for everyone by lowering costs for working families, increasing the taxes on the rich, and making them pay their fair share and investing in the middle class. Democrats say that they are dedicated to ensuring a stronger and more just future for every American. Unfortunately, all these words sound good during campaign speeches, but they never seem to come to fruition. Look at any major city, which are mostly Democrat-run cities, and ask someone from a poor neighborhoods what any elected Democratic politician has ever done for them. Promises are made, anger wages within the community and directed towards the man with no face, but who's holding them down, and the poor are never able to actually get the opportunities to climb out of their hole. A lot of liberal organizations are given money to pursue their small agendas or areas of expertise. Then after a lot of saber rattling, the organizations fold, having accomplished absolutely nothing. A few CEOs are able to pocket some taxpayer-funded money, and then the next organization with a great idea comes along, and once again, they are foolishly funded by we the people. According to a report from Politico, the current Democratic Party appears to be shaken. It's said that the centrist members of the Democratic National Committee think that the party is too woke, and one even said that she doesn't want it to become a freak show. Apparently, she doesn't pay attention to the daily broadcast news or social media accounts of the current Democratic Party. The freaks are making a great deal of noise, but aside from some attention on local news, no impact is really ever made. It should come as no surprise the Democratic Party, which has abandoned the working class people, would find that the working class has actually abandoned them. While Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change, and they're right. Instead of recognizing why Trump voters love the man, Democrats continue to sneer at them and insult their intelligence by calling them names and him a thug or a criminal and worse. During the 2-year period between 21 and 22, when the Democrats held a governing trifecta controlling the House, the Senate, and the White House, and could pretty much do as they pleased, they pursued policies that contributed to excessive inflation and an explosion in cross-border illegal immigration. So on the next national election day, Democrats paid the price for that. For a short period, the country was given a small taste of a completely liberal government. The left lost their collective minds like a crack whore desperately willing to do whatever is necessary to feed her next addiction while screwing the country. Hopefully, conservatives will not squander their current and possibly brief opportunity of being in control. If they do well in this short window of time, maybe they will be able to add their majorities. Unlike many of our politicians, we the people are in this thing called living in America for life. Politicians, on the other hand, come and go. Our lives, however, keep going until we die. Let's honestly stop worrying about political parties and start working to improve this country, the quality of our lives, and the continued existence of this young experiment called America. To hear a lot of the post-election buzz from every direction, the Democratic Party has a terrible attitude problem. It's full of arrogant elitists and self-important political consultants for whom much of America is terra incognita. While the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and they want change. Many of the more introspective Democrats say that Trump didn't deserve to win, but we didn't deserve to lose. The Democrats need to thoroughly examine what happened and why. But in that spirit, they won't automatically assume the problem was a bad collective attitude or an inability to relate to people who ultimately changed and voted Republican. They continue to insist that they know what is best for the people who are just not that well informed. I'll say this for them. They are the ones who are ill-informed, and the left-leaning media continues to paint Democratic leaders as being on the right track while America declines under President Trump. Democrats continue to insist that Trump is the wrong track. According to them, his political policies predictably will backfire on him, and the Republican Party will pay the price as well. Now, moving forward, Democrats should open their minds and take a break from the left-leaning media and the bullshit that they spew. Stop beating yourselves up for not getting Trump voters and begin reconsidering how Democratic policies actually affect voters and how they sound good on paper, but never really work in reality. For all Democrats, if you do this, you might just stand a chance of getting your backward asses back into power. I'm just a thoughtful conservative redneck. Some may even think that I'm full of shit. I'm convinced that cross-dressers are a very small but vocal group of clowns that don't amount to a very large contingency of voters to affect any outcome. Democrats need to stop acting like they are in a significant voting bloc. Putting a dress and lipstick on a hog, even David Hogg, doesn't make it pretty or a female. It's still just a pig that will wallow in the mud just to be happy to stay cool. And that, my friends, is that. Whiskey improves with age, and I improve with whiskey. My name is Mongo. Whiskey goes in, wisdom comes out. I smoke cigars and I know things. Mongo is out, and now back to you in the studio.
Man, Mongo, you hit that one right on the head. You know, I remember back when we had bipartisan, government where, yeah, we disagreed on some issues, but you know what? At the end of the day, it was all for the people. We came back and we made things better. Yeah. Listening to some of my friends back in New York, and following some of the stuff that's going on in New York, you look at like AOC, who has not been in her district in months, and there are.
Did you see the news accounts last night when they walked through her district with all the prostitutes and?
I didn't see it last night, but I'm saying I did hear that prostitution has overrun her streets, her district. She has not been been helping that.
But everybody's got to eat.
I'm not disparaging the prostitutes. I'm just saying, they can't even get into her office. They say her people, even the staff in her office, are taking 2 and 3 and 4 hour lunch breaks. The doors are locked until by appointment only, and nobody can get in to voice their concerns about what's going on in the community. And this is where the Democratic Party has failed the people in their communities. You look at Detroit. Detroit was booming back in the day with the car dealerships, and they were thriving. And now with Democratic policies put in place, crime has riddled Detroit. Detroit is one of the most disgusting cities to live in. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most unsafe cities to live in, and it's all because of policies that have failed. If politicians listen to the concerns of the working class people and did something, they may gain a little bit more power, like mm-hmm. Mongo said.
Mm-hmm. And it's all a money-making thing too, because the auto workers collective body, they tend to lean towards Trump, but the union leadership is all very Democratic, because it's all about, oh, you're going to give me money, we will support you. I can't make them vote for you, but we're going to say we support you. Because right. I just watched the whole thing on the auto industry's coming back, but the union leadership is not in favor of the Trump presidency. They're still strictly liberal Democrat.
Yeah, well, love or hate Trump. I mean, it's a personal thing, but you know what? You got to give the guy.
Got to love the country more.
You got to love a guy who's loving our country, mm-hmm. who is out for the people. I mean, you got a governor right there in California and a mayor, Newsom and Bass, who are more worried about bringing lawsuits against Trump because he brought in military than cleaning up the mess that's going on. You want to talk about lawsuits later on.
It's like hypocrite. You want Trump to be accountable for everything, but yet they don't want to be accountable for
right,
the
but
shit they're doing.
You know what? You want to sue Trump for bringing in the military? Fine. Let's get the riots to stop first and then bring them in. Why talk about lawsuits now? Well, businesses are still being looted and people and the destruction of property and all these officers that could be saving lives and fighting real crime have to deal with these baby bullshit protesters blocking traffic in the street.
Yep.
You know, take care. I mean, Bass did it with the fires.
That's why you don't see that too much in Texas because people carry here.
She can't get out of her own way. She really can't. She let that whole west side burn down, and now she's letting the whole rest of the city get taken down.
It boggles my mind that she has support. The people that are supporting her, where are they from? Well, I mean, this lady is doing nothing for them.
Yeah, well, and I was embarrassed the other night because the current LAPD chief was standing with her and telling his people, "We're going to stand down. Stand down. What do you mean stand down? Why are you giving things up? You need to push forward." He won't let these guys do it.
You know, I saw on the news the LA chief gave a statement, and man, I'm like, this guy's going to be out of a job.
Yeah,
he's going to be out of a job tomorrow because he went against the political side of the thing. He's like, no, we have to protect our community. We have to do this.
How are you protecting the community?
Now he's saying that.
Huh?
Now he's saying that. When it all started, he wasn't saying that.
Oh, okay.
No. Initially, he was like, "Yeah, we're going to keep our guys held back," and they let the stuff go on. Now he's saying, "Well, now we're shorthanded. It's tough, but we're not going to let it." Well, that's why Trump had to send in the National Guard and the Marines. Although the Marines aren't actually there, they're prepared to be there.
Oh, they're not there yet?
They just went through their riot control training at Seal Beach. They're still in reserve. But they are ready to go. They can be there within an hour.
Oh wow, okay.
I thought I just saw a TikTok of a convoy rolling in.
It could be. I haven't watched the news in the past 3 hours. I've been watching you guys.
Yes.
See that? You know, you just brought up a great point, Pipple. A lot of people are getting their news from TikTok,
the TikTok,
or from social media, which a lot of this stuff is false, fake. You know, there was a news report, and we actually fell for it as well. Was DJ Daniels? Someone put out a thing that DJ was going into ICU and he was resting in ICU and everything was all legit and the whole bit.
He went
Found
there.
out today, DJ, yes, he got diagnosed with 3 new tumors, but he is not in the hospital. He is not in ICU. And Mike Barron with the Blues Magazine and Hal from Prison Tattoo are very close with that family, and they text me today and said, "Hey, listen, this is false news. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's false news."
Yeah,
So
I saw the
please
same
don't
thing.
believe everything you're reading on TikTok or Facebook or
James.
You know, but a lot of people are being swayed by what they are seeing on social media, and it's all false narratives.
Yep.
But we see false narratives between CNN and Fox. Who do you believe? You know, who's telling the right, who's telling the wrong?
You can't just believe what people are shoving at you either. You got to take what they give you and have your own opinion too, as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't just be cattle.
No, you can't.
Or you can put on The View and whatever Whoopi and Joy say, it's the opposite.
Duck and Whoopi.
Yeah. I don't even like to mention that word on here.
We don't say the W word here.
You know, there was another couple of points you brought up with that I'm trying to remember on your Mongo log with was it with David Hodge? Who's that female girl? The David Hodge female girl.
Female girl. Not the male
that
girl.
just got in trouble on a boat.
Oh yeah, Greta Thornburg or Thornburg.
Yeah, that girl. She's like a him, but she's like the female version of him.
She got in trouble on a boat.
I think they should have delivered them. The Israelis shouldn't have kidnapped them. They should have delivered them to the country they were en route to. Let them fend for themselves with their meager donation that they took with them.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'm sure you're seeing more of the news than we are. We're just getting bits and pieces of all the highlights. We're only getting the highlights of this. We're not getting all the good juicy stuff.
The tea.
Well, like I said, we don't get a lot up here. I gotta hunt for it. It's quiet. I mean, I went to the gym this morning. Nobody was talking about this shit. It was just like another day at the gym.
So how are the vineyards? I mean, when you drive down,
they're beautiful right now. They're blossoming. The grapes are growing. They're getting really big, and they'll stay green and full until like mid-fall, and then they'll all change to brown. They'll harvest the grapes, and then they'll
We're
be
expecting some bottles of wine in November.
Yeah.
So do you go out there and pick the grapes and stamp the grapes and do that all that I Love Lucy
You want
stuff?
some Mongo feet wine?
Mongo feet wine?
No, I don't do that. No, I'm not a wine person, but I do drive through the vineyards every day.
That's awesome.
Now, do you get the wine or
He doesn't drink it.
I don't drink it. My dad has a room. His basement is probably about half the size of my house. It's just a wine cellar.
Oh wow.
It's crazy.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, fancy.
Yeah, no. Whenever I have company, I take them over to my dad's house and I take them down to the wine cellar. I go, look at this. I open the door. I go, look at that, just to show them because it's impressive.
I'm sure.
Now, does your dad manufacture his own wine?
No. At one time, he did own a vineyard that he named after his wife, but it usually with operations like that, you basically own the property and you lease it to a winery or a vineyard company, and they come in and they do all the work. And then you reap some of the benefits because they're leasing your property.
Kind of like having mineral rights to an oil field.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, very nice.
Were
very
you just
nice.
watching Landman or something?
Yeah,
but he no longer has his vineyard. I guess he sold it, but he still has a wine cellar. Unfortunately, he doesn't drink as much as he used to because he used to drink with his wife every night, but she's not drinking wine anymore because of her medical issues. But so it's kind of sad, but he's got so much wine. I don't know what we're going to do with it when the time finally comes.
Yeah, we know what you can do with it.
Oh, did I see a hand?
You see two hands. Hey, Tigger's big into white wine. Do you got white wine or is it only red?
I don't discriminate.
Every kind.
Well, you should send some back with Jude.
Hey, Jude, bring me some wine.
We may have to take a trip to California
from
by car and drive it back.
Mongo's hidden wine cellar. Yes.
That almost rhymed.
I was trying.
That you did pretty good. You did.
Jude,
Well, Mongo, I want to thank you once again for an amazing Mongolog. This is news from the Mongo perspective, but you know what? He's usually spot on. He gets, his news media is not just from Fox or CNN or the big.
It's from the people.
It's from every news organization. It's from everywhere. He takes weeks to write these things, and he formats an opinion, and he listens to the people. And we thank you so much for bringing that to the 99, Mongo.
Hey, I appreciate the props, and you're welcome.
You deserve them. Well deserved.
Well, if I get back from the airport next week, then I'll be there with another Mongolog because I've already got one ready. If not, then it'll be a couple weeks.
All right, no worries.
Well, the longer you take, every week you miss is another bottle of wine.
Okay, all right.
Look at that. Oh, we have Mongo. We got Howard Scott right outside.
Literally outside the door.
Showing us the star on a Walk of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame,
right.
dude. He's like, hang on.
Oh, that is wonderful. Howard Scott, the
Low
founder of War,
Rider.
the legendary band War back in the 70s.
Very cool.
He wrote I listened to that song. He was talking about homeless veterans.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10 minutes long. What a wonderful song that was.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Here he comes.
Yeah, well, Mongo, stay on.
The
because
legend.
We'll bring him on. Hey,
We got Howard Scott in the house.
Howard, we got Mongo on. He's in LA. You remember Mongo?
This
Mongo,
is
he's-
like amazing.
That is congratulations. Congratulations. I saw
What? Jennifer Lopez? Jonas Lopez gave you oh, that's amazing.
George Lopez.
George
He doesn't have
Lopez.
the same butt as Jennifer Lopez, but he's got a good butt.
Can I show the camera? This is awesome, guys. Look at that.
The legendary
Go
Howard
down.
Scott, got a well-deserved star on the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. Man, presented by George Lopez. Yo,
I said it right.
and your song is part of his show, right?
That is
Lowrider
awesome.
is and I
That's one of my favorite songs.
Homeless vet, the Homeless
Yes.
Heroes. I listened to that the other day. What a wonderful song.
That's right.
I'm
Good
gonna
call.
download it was 10 minutes long.
Good call. Ask them where on the Hollywood Walk of Fame it is, because I go down there occasionally.
It's right by Amoeba Records. It's right by Tupac and
It's by Tupac. You by Tupac?
Maber
Amoeba.
Amoeba Records. It's right by Amoeba Records, and it's right by Tupac Star.
Oh my God.
So proud to
Bless you, brother, always.
you. Well deserved, man. God bless you.
That is so awesome.
That is amazing. Howard Scott.
I've never met anybody on the Hollywood Star before.
Wow, that is such an honor. Such an honor. Yeah, if you get down to LA, take a picture of that and send that to us. I saw some of the video and news footage of them accepting the award. That is terrific. That is terrific. Well, what a great legendary
Go get a
man
picture
he
by
is.
it, Mongo.
I'll do it.
All right, brother. We will talk to you later.
All right, take care.
All right, stay well.
All right, bye.
Mongo with the Mongo log.
Well, real quick before we get off,
Yeah, we got to wrap.
We got a couple
before we
more.
wrap up. Let's talk about which one you want to talk about first. Let's talk about the first one. This one.
This one's
first,
coming
yeah.
up.
That one's
So
coming up.
our buddy Tattoo Mark has an event coming up. And it's all about the kids, that is all about Tattoo Mark. He's always about the kids.
Yes.
This is going to be August 9th from 8 to 3 at the I'll put the addresses on there. It's 12280 Trinity Crossing Circle in Fort Worth. Sponsored by All Storage.
Yep.
They're going to have face painting and
Bounce
all the
house.
things for the kids, raising money for what his great cause of getting the teddy bears to the children's in the hospitals. So that's another great cause that is on our page as well, live at Tattoo Mark's Foundation.
You know the singer Celeste, who is
Yes.
Celeste is going to be there.
She's like
gonna
15, 16 years old, and she's amazing.
No, she's not 16 years old.
Okay, what? How old is she?
I said the same thing when the mother called me. I was like, she's only.
What is she, like
she's-
25?
She's 22
Oh,
years old.
God.
Yeah. but
Sorry, girl. You
but
look
she
great.
She looks great. She looks so young. But she's going to be
You
in
told
studio.
me she was. That's
Well,
why
that's
it's
what I
his
thought.
fault.
That's what I thought. But she is. She's going to be in studio.
With her guitar.
Yes,
Mhm.
she's going to come play here. She's going to play a couple of songs, and then she will be at All Storage, playing about 4 or 5 songs
Mhm.
on that day. So
All about the kids.
I got to go down to All Storage the other day, and I met with Dylan.
That's right.
He's one of the property managers over there, and it is All Storage is definitely one of those storage places where you want to store your stuff.
Mhm.
Everything.
I need to switch my stuff over there.
They have all the. They have 3 floors. Everything is fully monitored, gated, clean. Everything's lit up.
Secure.
So you go,
Yeah,
it's
if you're a
secure,
female
man.
walking in there, you don't feel sketched out.
And the prices are good, man. The prices are real good for the storage.
That's the biggest thing is the storage.
Yeah, they're
And
not
raising
they're not
it
outrageous.
every
They're not
4
outrageous.
months.
So that's going to be the Kids Summer Bash
Mm-hmm.
at All Storage on August 9th.
August 9th, 8 to 3.
Yes. And then
We got to save the date.
we got to save the date.
We got another outfit for you.
Yeah, for the Celebrity Softball Classic.
October 4th.
Tickets will go on sale July 4th.
But the event's October 4th.
The event is October 4th, but tickets will go on sale July 4th. Go to celebritysoftballclassic.com.
.org.
Now bring your kids, man, because this is a family fun day where all these pro athletes, actors, and movie stars and veterans and first responders all play softball. And us.
Well, we don't play.
And
We just stand there and look important with our little press pass.
But it's great for the kids. You know, TK does a wonderful thing. He puts all the kids in the front and lets them get autographs, do meet and greets with their favorite athletes. You'll have Dallas Cowboys. You'll have all these pro football players out there. All these guys.
Wasn't like last year there was some like actors from Yellowstone and stuff like that. So and then probably with all the stuff that's being filmed here in Texas, there's a
people
lot
from Yellowstone, the Chosen, and the Ozarks. And you had people from and cast from the Ozarks, and you never know who else is going to show up this year. But it's packed full.
Yeah.
And Chaz Taylor.
And Chaz
Taylor. Yeah, Chaz will be there.
Who rides with the 99?
Yes. He'll be out there as well. Tattoo Mark will be out there again this year. It's a lot of fun. It's a great day. And he ends the day, he recaps the day with an amazing fireworks show. And it's all done at Ryder Field. Ryder Field in Frisco, Texas. You're looking for a food truck. Lone Star Cuisine has openings this weekend. So if you're having an event this weekend, contact Lone Star Cuisines, Randall at gmail.com. Lone Star Cuisine, Randall at gmail.com. Some of the best barbecue we've had. They did our event.
I had them at the Peanuts and Pistons. And everybody raved about and then they brought all that for Johnny Rizzo.
Yes,
and I mean,
that's
how you showed
Johnny
New York.
Rizzo loved it. He loved it.
Yeah, you got New York coming. You got to give him some Texas barbecue.
But Lone Star Cuisine will also be at the Tattoo Mark Foundation event. He's going to be supplying all the food on August 9th.
I'll probably have him at my event at Hartley as well.
Yeah,
anywhere I'm going, the barbecue's going.
The barbecue. He's part of the 99.
Where's the meat?
Randall rides with the 99. Well, just to recap today, man, I want to thank the Thin Blue Line and for everything they do. Their golf outings coming up. Be sure to follow, share, and be a part of something bigger than yourself, man. I want to thank you, Chance, for being board up and keeping everything legit.
Man behind the curtain.
Yeah, the man behind the curtain makes all the magic happen.
Hey,
he does.
Ladies.
Are you pimping?
He's single, he says.
Are you pimping out our board up?
Whatever gets the money in, baby.
Speaking about money,
pimping ain't easy.
Speaking about money, I can't thank the Thin Blue Line enough for this donation. This will go back to the community, believe me, in more ways than one. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in and being a supporter of the 99. We are here. We are your voice. If you want to be part of the 99, just give us a shout. Let us know.
Drop.
Just drop a drop.
Drop.
And or if you want to come in the studio and tell us what you're doing in the community, we'd love to hear it. Fishbowl has always been a voice and a radio for a reason, and we are going on our 6th year here in the studio, and we enjoy it so much. So be a part of it, man.
I'm going on 2.
You're going on 2. Yeah, I know.
Yay.
Maybe we'll get to your picture up there and
maybe
for the show of the year.
Be official at some point.
All right. Well, we're getting to that 6 o'clock hour.
We made it.
We did make it. And you know what? It's thanks to all our guests. Yes. And it's thanks to all our guests and supporters.
It's for all our riders.
And all our riders.
With the 99.
Yep. Thank you, Lori Montoya, Glenn Lawson, Mongo, and Billy Ball. And Billy Ball with Hemp and Hounds. I love that.
I'm
love
making
that.
a shirt that says that.
Hemp and Hounds?
Hemp and Hounds, dude.
I know. That is so great. All right.
There's so many ideas.
She's part of Planet Harvest, and you can reach out to Billy on social media.
And you'll catch your hearing.
If you have any questions about CBD or
when
THC.
she's on live too, chime in when she's on.
Yeah.
We can read your questions while she's on air.
Yep. And if you want to be part of the show, let me know, because our phone lines no longer work because we got rid of Skype.
We didn't pay our bill.
Yeah. But if you want to be a guest on the show and you want to chime in and you have a question, let me know. I'll send you the link to the show and we'll bring you in, either audio or video, whatever you'd like. So we'll be starting that next week.
Sounds good.
And if you could be anything in this world,
be kind.
Be kind. Peace.